You have 68 wins. You cannot 69 Mina.
Hey everyone, it is the center of attention, Brittany Brooks, and you are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Come on over, Simply. I'm being upset. See, earlier I said something stupid to him, and now this is my receipt. Okay?
Sabu's just sabotaging you.
Yep. He sure did.
Hijack.
Yeah, he's taking over.
Hijacking is a better word. You're right.
Good luck.
What up, everybody? This is the People's Babushka, and you are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Shout out to Simply Reliable Studios making their Symphony debut, sponsoring this match and the entire Dragon Kai demonstration.
What's up, everybody? It is the hottest flame, the realest Hogan, the bionic baddie, Kiera Hogan, period, and you are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Noah. I believe in Datula. The Meltzer of the multiverse. I know. Who the fuck wants to compare themselves to another? How much of a mark do you have to be? You couldn't even pick a professional athlete. You went with a fucking journalist? Grow up, man.
We just want to say thank you to Simply Reliable Studios for voting us as Tag Team of the Year.
Of course.
Because you know what they say, right? If you can't swim, you're bound to drown.
Tonight, she is sponsored by Simply Reliable Studios from Orlando, Florida. She is everybody's favorite BFF, Izzy Marino.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the weekly moderated insanity known as the Shenanigans here across the Simply Reliable Studios brand of channels. It is I, your moderator extraordinaire, the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, back in the hood seat, joined by the Island of Misfit Toys, the Simple Man Noah Foster.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back here once again to the Simply Reliable Studios. You know what this is? Brand cements and brands of voices. That's for favorite fall-face professional wrestling. Damn it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in the rest of the panel. First and foremost, my partner in Love the Bed in AEW. We call the rest of the light and probably upset stomach mindset for some other stuff tonight. It is, of course, Mr. Reliable, Simply Reliable, in true original form, Walter Cruz.
Ronda won in literally 17 fucking seconds. She tackled Gina. Gina fought a little bit. She turned to the side, got that armbar, and she tapped. Literally 17 seconds in the first round.
Well, at least I know I can last longer than Gina Carano. We've got one half of the Canadian connection and a man who just got done doing some hockey coverage with the Stat Boy. Nick is here. What is up, sir?
Why were you guys talking about boobies for 45 minutes?
Theme of the week, today's.
She's yours, she's mine, she's our Canadian friend, Ash. That's actually elegant and not fake. Hello, Ash, how are you?
Enough is enough. I've had it with these motherfucking AEW wrestlers winning my motherfucking New Japan title.
Make sure you tune in every week because you never know who's going to drop in to join the Shenanigans. We do have the man who started it all. Jeff Meacham is with us.
I'm impressed with what's going on at the JCW. I'm happy for Russo. I'm happy for Vito. I am a viewer, again, when I can get home and sit my ass down for a half hour, whatever it is, and enjoy that shit.
Popping out before midnight virtually on this app. It is my cohort as fellow gamer and crazy wrestling watching aficionado, Charles Schultz, will also be joining me tonight in the fray as I welcome you into the Shenanigans once again at the end of this fine Saturday.
I just want to keep seeing Mr. Guana show up every single time and just Polyaska. I'm still agreeing with JJ. We still need that freaking multi-person puppet match.
A puppet is not a competitor!
Sex dolls are competitors if you go to the right company.
Teleporting in via the morphing grid, our very own Pink Ranger is here.
Everybody. You know, I know the firing of Scott Moore was controversial, but I feel like he needed to go in order for TNA to grow. Don't get me wrong, we had some good stuff under Scott Moore, but the company was just stagnant. And you know, look how much they've grown.
If this is what it took for her to acknowledge some of my NXT talent, then I'm here for it. Because we know she doesn't work Tuesdays. So the fact that she watches Thursdays and is still getting exposed to my talent, like, hey, something happened, right? She told me the other night that Trick and A was some of the best stuff in TNA.
Yeah, I actually really did like Trick and A.
I was completely shocked and blown away to discover it was Chad Gable under that mask. I had no idea. I would have never guessed it. I never saw it coming. This was just mind-numbing. This was like the reveal that Juan Cena was John Cena. I never in a million years would have guessed that Chad Gable was going to be that match.
Is Fleet ever going to lose that title?
Well, you know, everyone can be a dickhead, but how strong a dickhead are you is the real question. I have a pretty strong dick.
I'll take your report.
Good night, everybody. Hopefully no one else heard that.
Cool. What is going on, everybody, and welcome once again to the weekly moderated insanity known as the Shenanigans. Tonight, on a special Sunday evening, instead of its normal Saturday time slot, I am, of course, your moderator extraordinaire, the Renegade of Wrestling, J.J. Williams. I am not alone. I am joined by the other sometimes host when I am unable to be here at the outset, the simple man, Noah Foster.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm all right. That was quite a way to end the weekend. I mean, I still have a voice a little bit. I'm still awake. My proverbial 2-hour clock's officially started because I have work in the morning. And honestly, it was, like I said, for summer mid, it was at least above mid. Thoroughly enjoyed the weekend. Had some incredible moments. Some unique sets that I'm questioning about. And at the end of the day, I followed that saga of brothers since the beginning. And we witnessed what I felt like was the ultimate closure on truly the end of an era that I followed since day one, and I absolutely enjoyed it. Overall, feeling great. Hope you are the same, and hope everyone else is the same as well. Again, if you haven't already, subscribe to Rage of Wrestling.
Dude, we're already at almost 200 viewers right now.
The hell?
187.
Jeez, you all are nuts, but thank you.
Hey, we love it, man. We love it. I mean, again, shout out to Bossman Rift for allowing us to be on his personal YouTube and X account. I am almost willing to bet that is where the majority of people are watching us. Yeah, 164 on his X right now.
And it doesn't matter what, as far as I'm concerned, though, I will say this. It doesn't matter the where, it just matters the who, and the who is all of you. So again, thank you so much, and I hope you continue to follow us here if it's your first time at Super Reliable Studios and what we do with coverage, shenanigans, interviews, and other forms of entertainment too. So again, I humbly say thank you, because it's about you and you all make it possible.
Yes, and thank you, Nick, for the compliment there. Now get your ass in the stream. You've got the link.
All right, JJ, let's let the freaking buffoons get their devices in order.
Saying.
I get that. I mean, you know, people might enjoy the show, the Simple Man and the Renegade once again. You and I once did this thing for 2 hours, and it was a success, so who knows? Maybe they want that. Stay tuned, by the way. It might be a simple session later on. Anyway, JJ, continue.
Well, you know, I mean, I did make sure that everybody got the link. I even sent it to Charles. I sent it to Papagino.
My brother, my fellow statistician, we break it down and bring you the scores tomorrow. And I did very well this weekend.
You know, I mean, he's actually at a watch party right now, but he said that if he gets home and we're still on the air, then he'll come in.
Cool.
But yeah, and Safed here, no one will ever forget Noah's greatest call ever in Simply Reliable Studios history.
Will you stop that?
I mean,
yes! 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 Fucking yes! Sorry. Oh, I'm so happy. I am so damn happy. I pinned that, by the way, to my freaking X account, and I don't usually do that. I bet Aaron Rip's broken. I cannot wait to see Aaron Rip's reaction because usually Aaron Rip's so mild manner. He's monotone. He's not reactive.
Well, he who shall not be named as a result of Chelsea winning will be on episode 400 of the No DQ review.
It might be the last review we see Aaron Riff on. I'm just saying.
You know, which episode 399 will be this coming week. So episode 400 will be the week after. So
right.
Just as a heads up, for those of y'all that know about He Who Shall Not Be Named.
Don't say the name.
He Who Shall Not Be Named will be appearing on episode 400 of the No DQ review as a result of that.
Yes, freaking yes! Chelsea Green deserved it! Yes! Sorry, continue. Stop giving me a freaking Chelsea Green Tourette!
Stop doing what?
Yes! Fucking yes! Chelsea Green! Stop that!
Look, it's very, very rare that I get you that excited over something Fed related.
This is accurate.
Excuse me in relishing in this, okay?
Soak it in while you can. Bloody hell. All right, let's continue. Of course, we had 2 days of action. Ay.
Yeah, so look, we're not going to sit here and run through every single match. That's going to take forever.
Well, between me and you, it wouldn't, but considering who we might be dealing with, yes, it would.
Well,
and you would be on your own.
But you're also going to be doing that tomorrow with Papagino.
We usually do.
Doing it with a simple session, you know. So it's like we don't want to beat it to death either. If you're going to be on the review this week, you're probably going to talk about it there. So, you know. But let's rewind back to night one. What was your biggest takeaway, your biggest moment, whatever, for night one? Because for me, and keeping in mind that I didn't watch, I only heard in my ear producing everything. I'm gonna give this one first because it carries across. Or no, it didn't. Never mind. But Liv Morgan being able to retain.
Yeah.
And Brock Lesnar losing to Obafemi and embracing Oba in a very non-Brock Lesnar-esque move.
Right?
You know, hugging him.
Don't see that.
Telling him that I am the past, you are the future.
It's the future right here.
You know, just fantastic. I feel like Brock gets a bad rep because of the way he talked about WWE when he exited the company back in 2004. The UFC career, the diverticulitis, the fact that when he came back, he was very part-time, you know, gone for like 8 months before he would even defend the title. Like, people want to hate on Liv for going 100 days without defending the women's title, which is beyond her control because the plan was to do stuff with Stephanie Vaquer. Stephanie got injured, and they just didn't have anybody built up to really take that spot.
Right.
You know, so there's not a whole lot that Liv could do, but Brock, you know, disappearing for 8 months, not defending the title, you know, even more of a part-time champ than Roman Reigns ever was in his 4-year run.
Accurate.
I think Brock gets a lot of crap. And then, of course, his name coming up in the Vince McMahon thing, the Janelle Grant allegations, which are being taken to arbitration and settled privately, not even going to go to court. So everybody out there that said that Janelle Grant was just after a money grab is kind of, you know, being proven right, but that's not for me to judge. But because Brock is involved in all these things, he kind of gets a bad rep. And I think that this 4 months from WrestleMania to SummerSlam was about not necessarily finding peace and riding off in the sunset, but maybe trying to do all that while at the same time leaving a good taste in the fans' mouth.
I think there's definitely some truth to echo behind that, because it is one of those things where you are part-time. You almost wondered, are you overprivileged? Are you, underappreciating what this business is for us as a fan and for what you have given it? And are you just taking advantage, just getting a paycheck? Are you actually doing anything? For what it's worth, when it comes to Brock Lesnar, he does draw that reaction, but it's very rare you see him really put forward a talent. We've only seen Brock Lesnar literally work with one person this year, and that is Obafemi. And everything that he and Obafemi have done have echoed Brock Lesnar mannerisms. I think that's why Brock enjoyed working with him so much. Plus, he's a big guy. He seems to know how to dictate and control the crowd noise. He knows how to play both a villain and a hero in a promo. And more importantly, he knows how to carry himself quite comfortably on the microphone. And we haven't seen this prior to him in NXT. For all the crap you can give about Brock Lesnar in and out of the ring, again, I'm the simple man. I don't follow social media. I don't look at legalities. I look at what's in my ring. I look at if it's entertaining. I look at if it actually pushes forward something that I care about professional wrestling. I care about Obafemi. I said acknowledge in my predictions. If Oba loses, we riot. Not only did he win, it was like Undertaker who literally passed the torch, not just The Rock, really. Undertaker who probably passed that torch to Brock Lesnar being such a bad mother. And Brock Lesnar did that for Oba in spades. Now, truth be told, did we really need the buffer in Italy? That is all up to, subjective speculation, observation. But what Brock did to Oba in that short post-match segment spoke more values, I think, than Brock Lesnar has done in a long time when it comes to what Brock really does mean to the business and to WWE. And I think this is a theme here. You said vortex, I say closure. If that was the closure for Brock Lesnar to finally see somebody maybe do what he's done for the last 2 decades, but better for the future, I don't think you could have done any better.
Yeah, and I mean, Triple H gave an interview earlier this week to Dave LaCreca and the crew.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, and I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but he said,
go for it.
Brock Lesnar will probably suplex me for saying this. But he has been more than hands-on with Obafemi. He went on to talk about how the two of them will sit in a room for hours.
What?
Talking about the business, character work, and everything. Like, Brock has really, for lack of a better term, almost adopted Oba as a student, a Padawan learner, if you will.
That's crazy. I don't think Brock's ever done that with anybody.
He hasn't.
Wow.
And
I rest my case.
For all intents and purposes, Oba had no idea that Brock was going to do what he did yesterday. So if you think about it, because again, you visually saw it, I just heard, but if you think about it, Oba was very standoffish at the outset when Brock was calling him back.
Right.
Because Brock is a snake. I mean, he's got the sword of Damocles on his stomach.
Do we need to say anything else about that? I'm just saying.
Oba doesn't know if he can trust this man.
Of course, no one does. Except Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman does it in spades.
And then to see Brock with that outpour. Bully Ray said something this morning. He said he has never seen Brock at peace. And when he talked to Brock for a couple minutes last night, Brock seemed at peace.
Wow. That's a weird word to put in the same sense with Brock Lesnar.
So take that for what it is. Whether we see Brock again come Mania time as we head to Saudi, or whether last night was the final curtain call for the Beast, Brock at least seems to be at peace now.
Well, again, we talk about all the time in this business. How does a worker, what do you call them, an entertainer, a superstar, a part-timer, a legend, a wrestler, how does someone who is in this business, hell, a commentator for that matter, want to define their career to the end? What do they want to do with it? I think, honestly, based on what you said, it sounded like Brock Lesnar wanted to see if somebody was willing to work the way he did, but maybe do it better. And I think with what you said, that might be all the Femi, because he's got the youth. He's built straight out of WWE, out of the new program, with no prior wrestling background. And he's already proven in 8 months what he's capable of handling with the pressures that are put before him in and out of the ring, surrounded by the WWE universe. Now, the trouble about the whole King of the Ring thing, it is what it is. That just might be creative. That just might be booking. It's not the first time that Brock Lesnar literally flipped somebody off for booking or threw a title into gorilla position, if you all know. So, again, the similarities that Brock might have drawn from Oba when it comes to a knowledge of how to handle this business might go back to finally finding somebody that can keep this in good hands, or in hands to the level that Brock did. Because whether you're indifferent to Brock, hated him, or respected him, when Brock was involved, it did draw something to the product. And at the end of the day, I think that's all Brock wanted besides the profit, was drawing eyes to the product. He's a company man. There's a reason why, again, the wallet was so deep for him, because WWE knew if you need a push, Brock Lesnar.
I'm reminded of a John Cena promo. You blame me, I blame you.
With Roman
I'm
Reigns.
still here because you can't do your job.
Yep. You took the United States Championship as a demotion. Again, John Cena, Brock Lesnar.
You saying all that almost makes it feel like Brock has stuck around because he was waiting for the next big thing.
And we've called
Oba
him
very
that.
well could be that person.
Yeah, and again, he got that cemented win at SummerSlam, the same way Brock did at the guy at the time in WWE, The Rock, who also wasn't a full-time guy. And this time it didn't involve a championship. It involved Hell in a Cell, but still, you got the same type of outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just a matter of how Oba carries the ball. To have this trust is going to be an incredible amount of pressure for Oba Femi. He says he's ready, but it's easy to say that now. Will you say that down the line? We'll find out.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Night one also had the return of Randy Orton.
I didn't see that out of nowhere. No kidding. I didn't see that coming.
But we should have.
Yeah.
We should have known that things had been a little too quiet on the Viper front since WrestleMania.
You're right.
It's just one of those things, and I see Ash in the chat, watching the main event with her fam. She'll be here once it's done.
I can't wait to
Shout
get
out
thoughts
to
on Cody.
our Canadian friend.
Ash.
But Randy coming back was an interesting twist, because Randy has gotten to the point, and I thought about this when hearing Nikki Bella give an interview this morning. We are in an era where there are people, because they've been around so long, because the fans love them and adore them so much, they just can't get booed. Randy Orton, for all intents and purposes, should have been the heel going into WrestleMania.
Right?
But he wasn't, because everybody loves Randy. This is 2026, not 2009.
Yeah, when he was the most vindictive bastard on the roster.
When he was only 7 years into his career.
Which is crazy in itself.
Now Randy is a veteran.
Yeah.
A grizzled veteran. Nikki Bella, kind of the same thing. Her and Brie stomping the shit out of Paige, but getting cheered.
Yeah, there was that proverbial polarization, although I still feel like there is still more of a stagnant, off-centered with the Bellas and most fans when it comes to, certain demographics.
Definitely, and it always sucks because one of them gets healthy and then the other one gets injured.
I think that the proverbial twin curse is if one's injured, the other one has to work. If the other one's working, the other one gets injured following that. And Caitlin Bella, shout out to Caitlin Bella, our fearless no DQ queen. She and I had a conversation about that, and she literally echoed your sentiment. Why can't these two have their moment together in the ring? That's what they wanted. And unfortunately, it sounds like we're back to that again.
That's the whole reason they came back. And I think that's why the fans were cheering so much yesterday. Is like the fans, just as bad as Nicole and Brianna Garcia, want to see the Bella Twins as the tag team champions.
Just for a moment. It's the moment. They haven't had it yet.
And Paige just kind of got thrown in there because Nikki was hurt.
Exactly, because they all defined that era together.
And now Nikki is healthy to come back, but Brie gets hurt in the match.
Hopefully Brie is okay. And yeah, I noticed as soon as that bum, I was like, oh boy.
So it's just like, the fans want to see the Bellas as tag champs just as much as the girls want to be there. So they're seeing this turn and they're like, yes, we're finally going to build to that. It's going to be the Bellas and Fatal Influence for the belts, and we'll finally get the Bellas as champs. And at least not for a while, because we're still waiting to hear how serious Brie's injury is.
And with the whole thing with Paige, like you said, it could be a proverbial swerve in that pursuit with the return of maybe AJ Lee. And I've seen AJ Lee, Paige, and Bailey at a Fanatics clip. And again, those three are the best of friends, if not with the Bellas, because all 5 of those women defined an era, the end of the Divas era, with the one woman that wasn't a diva and the anti-diva, which is what I call Paige. So it's just one of those fades where, again, perspective, subjective, observative. I look at it like this. When those belts were first made, it was meant for the Bellas. They were the only realistic team at the time on the roster. They're sisters, for Pete's sake. I'm just saying. They're literally twins. But they never got that moment. And every chance you thought they were going to, one was gone or one was injured. Here we had Nikki Bella going into WrestleMania. You thought was going to happen. Nope, crutch. And then you got Paige out of nowhere. Again, great moment. The problem is with these moments, the momentum does not seem to follow in what they want to do or what the fans, moreover, want to see them do. And I think that's where the disconnect comes from, because that's what causes the fans to be upset. And it's not with the talent. It's with the creative.
Yeah.
So I wish Brie Bella all the best. And if there's one thing I've learned, as long as I watch WWE, you don't freaking trust the Bella Twins.
Nope. And that was what Nikki was saying, is like, she was trying to bask in the boos of the crowd.
She loves
talking about how long she's waited to hear that, because you're right. She adores that. But again, we're in an era where so many fans respect what Nikki and Brie have done in this business. It's just so hard to boo them.
Yeah, I don't think in this
And
day and
I
age.
have never been a huge Bella guy.
Me neither.
I won't sit here and talk trash about them the way I do about Mercedes or Candice, but I won't sit here and overtly praise them either.
Me neither. Yeah, you draw that thin line between the reality of the character you're seeing versus the person that you're watching literally live out their dream. And again, Nikki Bella, she's that bitch of the Divas era. Of course she wants that again. But in this stagnant day and age, if you draw that level of respect and recognition for who you are based on who you are outside that freaking character role, you're not going to get booed. It's just not happening anymore. The fan base, casual especially, and let's be honest here, WWE is recirculating their casual fan base every time. As some leave, others come in. It's a never-ending cycle. And they know these people based on who they are, not what character they're trying to be. So you're not going to get that heat.
No, 100. And, to Nick here, asking, what about the independents this weekend? If you'd like to talk about the independents for this weekend, you know where to find the link, good sir. We're going to keep talking about SummerSlam and you're more than welcome to come and talk about that stuff. That's what Shenanigans is for.
It's the
let's
free
not
form.
let's not forget it was originally called Open Mic Night,
And
where
of course,
people
it
could
evolved.
talk about whatever they wanted.
And of
So
course,
if you
this
want to
evolved.
talk about the independents you've seen this weekend in our absence, you know where to find the link.
So talking about evolution, though, you posed a question to me about like our biggest takeaway from Saturday, as we were talking about the two that were the biggest for you, and also Liv Morgan proving the caliber of athlete she is, even though she only defended that title one time. But what her and Io Sky did and set the pace of expectation for the weekend. Excuse me, Sky set the pace. Thank you, by the way. Set the pace for the weekend. Because I don't want to sound, like parrot, because I definitely agree with those two sentiments for those two matches you talk about. Yeah, I'll definitely get credit where credit's due, because again, as an advocate of women's wrestling, I hold that in such a high regard when it comes to the caliber of quality. I know that WWE can do, because I've seen it. They just don't consistently bring it. That was one of the better matches that Liv Morgan has had in a long effing time. And considering who she was up against, it was what I hoped it would be. Even with the tiny bit of the Judgment Day involvement, because character, LOL. The fact of the matter, Liv Morgan did on her own, and it took two Oblivions and Io Sky. I'm about to say, Io Sky is also a bit of a crazy chick herself. Liv Morgan, she was born unhinged, okay? They just gelled so well together. It really made Liv Morgan look strong, but it also did, I think, hurt Io Sky, because Io Sky brought the fight. This was a tremendous Women's Championship bout. Now, I do hope they don't stand at this to another 100 days with the next PLE, and I do hope they actually do have plans, because, again, plans forget to change. Paul Levesque once said there's always a plan B. Where was the plan B for the last 3 months? Because I'm just being honest here as a fan. With the amount of talent, with the future rising on the roster, and with what you got inside your roster, you're telling me you couldn't figure out something, or someone else couldn't get an opportunity through open challenge, gauntlet, confrontation? Are people afraid to step up? Are people afraid to freaking work harder? Are you not letting the people have the chance to work harder? Where does the ball, or in this case, the pen drop? Because I don't think it's on Liv. I don't think it's on Io. At the end of the day, I don't think the talents that fought in anything the fans might hold them for. At the end of the day, they're there to make a paycheck and live a dream. But Io and Liv, that was a tremendous outing, and I hope it happens again. So definitely for me, that's a highlight. Liv Morgan, you are one of the most obnoxious characters, though, and your voice just makes me go, ugh. I need my ears freaking plugged. But as an athlete, tremendous stuff. And Io Sky, there's a reason why she's one of the best in WWE and still going. The other one for me, going back to the wrestling roots, I can't say enough good things about Nick Aldis and the shape that he's in. Damn. And giving the ring general a run for his money. It was as traditional as professional wrestling I love is. Down on the mat, forward in your face. These two men didn't let up, and for Nick Aldis, it didn't look like there was any ring rust at all. He took very well, and I think Gunther was the perfect foil to work with, because Gunther knows Nick Aldis. Gunther's not an idiot. There's a reason why he's the Ranger, despite the fact he never faced that man. So to see Nick Aldis wrestle in a WWE ring against somebody less than the ring general, and seeing what Io Sky and Liv Morgan did to set a pace of caliber of competition for that women's championship, those are two of my biggest takeaways from night one. And honestly, outside the Obafemi moment, those are my two matches of the night.
Okay. I was hoping you would say something about the Nick Aldis match.
Gonna be happier for him.
Yeah.
And his family.
I still don't get the whole immediately reinstating him thing.
That was a little weird for me too, yeah.
But, it is what it is. He made his presence felt tonight, right at the outset, right? I mean, inserting 2 additional people into the match. Gunther, who defeated him.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the returning Kevin Owens.
I did not see Kevin Owens coming, though. That was the best surprise this entire weekend. You're right. We should have thought about Orton, but Kevin Owens, that was the last thing from my mind showing up, considering the delicacy of his injury. Again, scan that QR code, folks. Subscribe today. Rage of Wrestling. Follow us today. That's our Studios 24. And again, oh, by the way, how much did they freaking pay for Oasis? So let me get this straight. You can afford licensed music, at least for one night at a pay-per-view. But you're telling me you can't make Def Rebel build something with more character and personality, or actually co-work with licensed artists for most of your top superstars? Again, different conversation for another day, but I just
Look,
gotta, put that
they
little jab in
probably
there.
just did it because they knew it was one night only.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt for that. Okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt for that.
I mean, it's not like Oasis is going to be playing every time Nick Aldis comes to the ring now.
That would be awesome, though. Like William Regal, when he always came out, whether he was wrestling or general manager, he always had the. But yeah,
Underrated theme. I love that song.
I love that. It commands respect. It commands also a villain's coming your way that's not taking any shit. I feel like that should be my theme. That being said, plus suit game. Always respect that Nick Aldis still best suit game. But yeah, seeing Aldis take Sunday immediately, and I'm like, huh? When did this happen? This must have been a post-show thing, because of course I don't watch post-shows, because But, all right. But yeah, for me though, to see Nick Aldis after 3 years return to the ring, don the boots, don that swagger to the ring, bring forward the Texas Cloverleaf, it was so damn good seeing the National Treasure wrestle again. And Gunther, for that matter, was a perfect opponent, because Gunther and Nick Aldis are as traditional as European wrestling gets.
Hey, just keep Ben Gates away from him.
I get that. But yeah.
Wait, I didn't think you watched movies, sir.
I've seen enough movie trailers to understand some stuff you actually talk about.
Okay, fair enough.
It is what it is when you're surrounded by the world, when you hear every different song in an Uber or a Lyft, and you see every sort of movie trailer because your mom watches dramas for every channel outside a Roku box. When you walk past the room, it's like, I'm surrounded by this stuff, and I don't want to be, because I only care about wrestling. Damn it. Anyway, although I have been in some Lyft rides where they actually listen to Busted Open, so those drivers are cool. Anyway, but yeah, and again, the Gooper edition, I can understand. Think about it. Humble in combat. We saw our differences in the ring. You want your rematch, you can get a chance to earn it. And you gave him a chance. But I did not expect a fourth man. That completely flipped the script. Anyway, but that was Saturday.
Well, and that brings us forward to Sunday. But before we get to Sunday, which we just called, let's go ahead and take a second. We're going to run our watch along trailer, which is slightly out of date, but not as bad as some of the other ones, you know.
Exactly.
We will be right back after this.
And now for a taste of things to come.
And as always, here is that trailer demonstrates. Here are the Simple Lab Studios. We truly encompass, celebrate, pontificate, analyze, criticize, and react to all the wrestling.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, before we get into Sunday, since Nick did mention the independents, I do want to share this little clip of how GCW went off the air on Saturday.
Ooh.
And I know we won't get flagged because GCW is GCW, and we have I won't say we have a good relationship with them, and but they're not going to flag us the way WWE was. So just take a look at this.
See, I told you.
You're right.
Atticus Cogar is not going to clown around with this guy. He's got the skewers. What the hell happened? What the hell's going on here? What happened to the lights? He's here! Joseph Sawyer is here in GCW. Atticus Cogar.
Say his name and he will appear.
And Mose, I have a feeling like homecoming just got real interesting. We'll catch it tomorrow afternoon. GCW versus First. Joseph Sawyer standing tall.
And just as a friendly reminder, we will have Joseph Sawyer, the former Joe Gacy, tomorrow, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, for some midweek shenanigans.
Well then, talk about showing up in Atlanta Extreme out of nowhere and walking through a proverbial door into the light. Joe Sawyer going after the GCW championship. Okay, that's a little bit crazy.
For almost the entirety of the 90 days, whenever a Vandal 48 promo has played, there's been this weird, like, glitchy stuff that's been happening during their promos, to the point where Atticus even would go on social media and be like, this is the video that we presented. This is the video that aired.
Well then.
Just letting fans know, like, hey, it's not us. Something is happening. Something is being done. And clearly it was Joe Gacy that was, affecting their presentations there. But 90 days is up. Joe Gacy is out there. Joe Sawyer is out there making his name again, reestablishing himself. And at Homecoming, which you saw in the trailer, August 15th and 16th in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I forget which night, but Joe Sawyer will be challenging Atticus Cogar for the title.
He might need more than just himself against those Vandals. I'm just saying.
Hey, I know that there's a lot of friends on the indies too right now. So him and whatever Dexter is going by these days, I don't know if he's going by Sebastian Shaw, I think was his old name.
Correct, yes.
I'm not sure if he's using that or if he's come up with some other gimmick now, but they did team up together last weekend. So
Eric
who
Redbeard is
knows?
another one. Yeah, that's a good point. Eric Redbeard is another one to think about. Of course, former WWE Tag Team champions. There's definitely some potential there for a little bit of newfound faction warfare to develop in GCW, and we all know how far they take that sort of thing. All right, then.
Yes.
Look, welcome to GCW. Joseph Sawyer, good luck.
So just wanted to touch on that since Nick had mentioned the independents.
Well, I also want to touch on, since we're talking about independence, just want to highlight again, for those that tune into our recent interview with the Conduit of Karma, Kai McKenna. Of course, Kai McKenna here very soon will be defending her Pro Wrestling 70 Women's Championship, and I'm very curious to see who will come after her Spark Pacific Championship and what title she may go after next in her continued rising career. All the best always to the Conduit of Karma, Kai McKenna, mental health advocate, hockey aficionado, and a unique, technically sound powerhouse of this business. Personally, I want to see her go after Deonna Purrazzo or freaking Chris Statlander, but that's just some proverbial match. I want to see like an MPX or like maybe the next Boots type of promotion. I just think Kai McKenna has a lot. Gabby Forza, Jody Fred, I want those three as a trio. I mean, I see a lot for Kai McKenna. I really do.
I do too. And again, to your point, go back, check out our interview. 2 hours and 45 minutes, damn near 3 hours we did with her this past week. Just conversating, not even really interviewing, just chatting with an old friend.
I love that. Take care, Kaya.
But yeah, so let's get into Sunday. Let's get into what we just came off the air with.
Oof.
You know, we talked a little bit already about the return of Kevin Owens, so we could kind of bypass that.
Yeah. Great
You
moment.
know, Baron Corbin, though.
I can't believe you were right.
I told you.
I hate you for that.
I told you.
Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! My 1 point! That was the one fucking thing that caused me a perfect this entire weekend! Damn you, Baron Corbin! Damn it!
How you know?
Continue.
But I mean, it's like I said, what was the point of bringing him back if you're just going to make him a glorified jobber?
I mean, they need utility players. How many people did they just release?
Okay, they do need utility players. I will give you that. And you know how many people did they just released? It's SummerSlam. You know, we may be looking at that again come this weekend.
Oh, that's true. Oh boy, round 2. Or is it 3? I lost count. That's fair point.
It's round 2. People are speculating. You know, the former Fallen Gray, I forget what her name was, just revealed that she's left the ID program.
Aw. Poor thing.
You know, so that could be the beginning of it right there with her departing.
Fair.
You know, so we'll keep our eyes on the social media, see what happens.
Oh, well.
Well, we're definitely going to have to talk about it if shit goes down, you know.
I get that. I get that. Again, God bless you all. You know where I stand with all that, but I get it.
I know. You know, this weekend was such a high. I think it would behoove them not to do it because it's going to go from such a high to such a low.
This is the wrestling business, though, and unfortunately, that is kind of how this game goes. No one, especially anymore, JJ, no one is ever on a consistent pro wrestling high unless your name is utilized in New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's a whole different drug and in-ring competition. I'll talk more about that later in my next G1 Climax update with Ash. Continue.
I'm just saying, like, wait until something bad happens and then maybe do that so that you can kind of shift the focus.
Fair point.
As opposed to do it when people are still talking about a really great weekend of wrestling.
Right.
You know,
This was a
again,
great weekend.
with the exception of Human Money's on a Pole, which I had low expectations for. I find Danhausen amusing. I think Dom is great. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, it was 1 match out of 12. If y'all can't just suck it up and have fun with 1 match out of 12, go through the door.
I have 2 doors. Which door should I go through? Door 1 or door 2?
I don't know. Or do you want to trade it all for what's in the box?
Rest in peace, Monty Hall. There's a reason I made the botch graphic look like a zonk.
You know, as long as it's not a dick in the box. What?
Yeah, we don't talk about that. Anyway, but yeah, it's just one of those things. Like I said, wrestling is always going to be subjective to everyone their own. I'm a guy that's the fan for the in-ring work, the edge of your seat drama, and closing a great narrative or an incredibly competitive competition, such as my Japanese strong style roots or Stardom that has the most emotion. And when it comes to carny comedy levels of jackass entertainment, I'm kind of indifferent. It's not my forte. I just don't buy into that soiree. But overall, I'm glad people had fun with it. I got to have a little bit of jaw-jacking with Mikey, which everyone loves when I go off the deep end with my freaking rage internally. Shout out to Rage of Wrestling, watch the cruise, subscribe. So it is what it is. And in WWE, I already know what to expect from the highest of highs in my expectation of professional wrestling to the other side of the spectrum when it comes to what in the name of bluppity blip blop bloop did I freaking just witness? And that was that.
Speaking about what in the bloppity blip blop blip did I just witness, coming from the northern border,
Oh.
Nick has come in.
Oh, took him long enough.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Oh, and also joining us now,
what?
A very good friend of yours and mine, Papagino.
Hey, Papagino!
Hey, now we're talking.
Now we're
Jesus.
really rolling. Okay.
Wait,
first and
hold on,
foremost,
hold
No, Nick.
Oh, time out. You shut up.
Okay.
First and foremost, Papagino, welcome to the Shenanigans, my friend.
First time I bring about Shenanigans with you, Gino. Good to see you.
Happy to be here. Sorry, I don't want to gimmick infringe. Honored to be here.
You don't get infringe anything.
I'm a mess. I was screaming my face off. What a freaking exciting weekend in wrestling.
Damn it.
Like I said on the review, the build is the build. The hype is the hype. They deliver more often than not, and boy, did they freaking ever.
Creds too.
You want to talk about screaming your head off. I hope your headset is turned down some.
Oh, no. Yes! Yes! Fucking yes! Chelsea Green falling! Fucking yes! Stop that!
Jesus.
I should have known better with the interim title. That's the only reason to put the interim title in the title of the thing, is so that they can. So Michael Hayes doesn't have to flip his lid because Chelsea wins. You know, oh, she's not really the champion. Blah blah blah.
That fucking overaged idiot, out of generational freaking sense. I said what I said.
Look, like I said in Simply Predictings, Jade is going to feel like the interim title is beneath her. You know, Tiffany, you're not going to double belt her. You're not going to have two belt Tiffany, Tiffy 2 belts.
No.
It wouldn't count for Charlotte because it's interim. So it wouldn't be belt 15.
No.
So there's no point to strap any of them up.
No.
That just leaves Lash and Chelsea. Lash is too new. You had the thing in Unreal with Chelsea. This gives them an opportunity to shut Michael Hayes up, prove how over she is. You heard the crowd reaction. The crowd was firmly behind Chelsea.
Bro, Tiffany was a heel in her hometown because Chelsea was in that match.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
And Chelsea is the 4th Canadian to be a woman or Divas champion.
I love that.
Trish, Maurice, Natalia, and now Chelsea.
I'm so damn happy.
And don't forget, the man who shall not be named, because I put it in his head, he did not think Chelsea was good. He's going to be returning on the other channel. So, holy cow.
I'm pretty sure Aaron broke.
Yeah.
And really quickly, speaking of Chelsea and Canadians.
Oh, here we go again.
She's yours.
This is longer than what I usually do, but I guess it works. But they made it a freaking Sona. She wears the hat! Brilliant! And I'm as we trust! Damn it! Oh, hello, Ash. How are you?
I'm good. I had a visit with my dad these past 2 days. He watched SummerSlam with us.
Oh,
That's awesome. Ash, Papagino, Ash.
You know, what up?
Nice to meet you. I've seen you on the show a whole bunch. It's nice to meet you.
I've seen you on the No DQ review. You do a good job as moderator, by the way.
Thank you so much. That means the world. Thank you.
Yeah, there we go. Now we got the pleasures out of the way. Let's get back into the wrestling.
So we're talking about Sunday right now. You know, we'll go ahead, you know, and I know Nick didn't watch any of SummerSlam because he's a lame-o like that, but just real quickly, we'll run, you know, Jey Uso will run it back for Saturday real quick. For Gino and Ash, what were your big takeaways from Saturday night? Like what really hit for you?
Oh my God, did I love Nick Aldis versus Gunther?
Yes! My match of the night. Yes!
Yo, Nick coming out to Oasis? I'm like, wait, what?
I did not expect that. I was expecting Def Rebel to screw up his National Treasure theme. So damn glad I was wrong about that.
Right? I was just like, how the fuck were they able to fork the money for goddamn Oasis?
You realize how much money WWE had despite the fact TKO still has them by the throat? Come on now.
Do you realize how stingy WWE is?
Yeah, that's true.
To that point, it's probably cheaper to rent a song for one night than have to have CFO or Town Def Rebel make a song for Nick Aldis that sucks.
I'll give you that.
Probably accurate.
Yeah, I'm gonna endorse that comment right there. That's accurate. Continue.
Yeah. I also loved Io versus Liv. That was surprisingly a good match because I love Io. She is one of my wrestlers who always puts a smile on my face, no matter who they're wrestling. I just love seeing them wrestle.
I've called Io the best bell-to-bell wrestler right now on the women's roster right now in WWE. She is that damn good.
Look, there's a lot of people on WWE radio across all the different shows that are saying she might be one of the top 5 wrestlers in the world right now. Not women wrestlers, wrestlers, period.
I love that analogy, and I'm not going to argue against it. I fully endorse that outlook. I agree.
You know, putting her on a level with an Osprey, with an Omega.
My God.
You got 3 others to put in there as well?
Let's see. Let me look at New Japan Pro Wrestling. Maybe Shingo Takagi or Saya Kamatani. As far as America, there's a lot, but I don't know if they're on that level. Maybe Athena, because even in Ring of Honor, she has had more defenses and proving grounds combined than Roman Reigns' 2 title runs so far. So that'd probably be the other 3 I add, just off the top of my head. Anyway.
Fair enough.
I look at wrestling on a global scale. You gotta consider that.
Yeah, we love that. Ash, any more thoughts on Saturday though?
Punk versus Cody was not that bad. For something I didn't really care about, to be honest, because they didn't really give me much to care for.
Well,
because we know Cody's like your all-time favorite wrestler.
Cody, she's a Cody fan. She loves Cody Rhodes. Isn't that
No,
right?
I can't get enough of the American Nightmare. Golly, give me more of them, please.
So you're the reason he won't turn heel. Got it. I'm just kidding.
He loves Cody as much as Advocate loves Yoda Suji, and if you know, you know, folks.
If you know, you know, folks. Even I understand that.
That's funny. Well, as far as Saturday for me, leaving Saturday and coming into Sunday, people were like, Sunday's the worst card. Like night 1 is definitely going to be better than night 2. And we'll, obviously you guys are in the middle of talking about night 2. We'll get to that. But
yeah, of course.
If I freaking hear one more person,
oh boy,
if Dave, if you're watching, you're one of these people, because we had a watch party with Dave and a few of my local friends. We go to his house, we watch the events, and he was like, the Hell in a Cell was a waste. They didn't even use the cell, which is accurate, but like that doesn't mean it was a waste. Like, I enjoyed that match. Like, you needed, like, if this is Brock's last match, at least for a while, we'll know for sure if Saudi comes and goes and he's not on it. But if this is his last match, the aesthetic of Hell in a Cell is more than good enough. And okay, yeah, they didn't throw each other into the cell. They didn't get color. I don't think WWE wants either of their God mode wrestlers leading. So, like, to me, it made all the sense in the world. And I'm not one of these people that's like, well, the length of the match, blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't come to WWE for match length. Like, you go to AEW for that. Like, obviously, I come here for the storytelling. And boy, did we have that tonight. Holy cow.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And to be fair, there was a bump in a table against the wall. So, I mean, the cell was used a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And again, that's that aesthetic, that feel, that presence, like knowing they're locked in. I mean, yeah, would we have loved to have seen a CM Punk Drew McIntyre style match? Sure. But like, these two guys were just gonna. It's not about beating each other for the win. It's about beating each other up, and that's what they did, and it was fantastic. Sign me up.
Well put.
No, 100, and then the fact that Brock kind of endorsed and put him over afterwards. Complete, swerve from who we think of Brock Lesnar as.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to add one more thing.
Go for it.
He did that at WrestleMania. I don't think either of these guys are better off for having continued this feud post WrestleMania. We had the Oba have to throw away his King of the Ring win. We had Oba actually have to get beaten on the main roster and all these things. I know TKO loves it because they got to stretch it out. Again, that's how I feel about TKO. They love stretching things out. But neither of these guys are better off for this, even though I enjoyed it. Whatever, sign me up. But he had the endorsement. Oba crushed him. Like, there was really, like, nobody's really elevated themselves for this other than the match going on last. So that's my complaint with that, is that it really didn't, this and Clash in Italy didn't need to happen.
I agree. But, hindsight's 2020. They got 2 more matches out of Brock Lesnar. And as me and Jada talked about before the rest of the panel came in, it's one of those things where the fact that Brock worked this much with Oba, and apparently it's the first time we've seen him work with someone like this to this degree of trust and importance, shows how much Brock truly feels like we finally found the next big thing.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, apparently they were working together a lot behind the scenes. Like Brock was like showing him the ropes and breaking kayfabe. Whoa, don't kick me out. But like that is what older veterans do in every sport. They help out the next guy in line. And if Brock obviously, say what you want about whatever, he obviously cares about WWE. He cares about wrestling, and he wants to see it continue. He wants to leave it better than he found it. And a hell of a lot of respect for. I mean, how could he not after working so many matches with The Undertaker? I'm sure that you just become that level of caring about the business. But it was,
The Undertaker nuances in this too. Hell in a Cell. Brock Lesnar got put over by the Dead Man. Not once, but twice. Rising up like the Dead Man multiple times against Oba Femi. Trying to bury him in the tombstone pile driver position. And Oba kicked out on plywood boards, might I add, of a pile driver. Proverbially, in this rivalry, if you want to call it that, JJ and Gino and everybody, The Undertaker in this was Brock. And Brock put over... Or should I say Undertaker put over Brock Lesnar, in this case, was Oba. It was an echo chamber effect of a generational passing of the torch.
100%. Even all the way down to the peeling the mat and the apron back like they did in the 2016 Hell in a Cell.
Exactly.
I just want to say, though.
Little nuances.
With
the little things.
With no knee pads, doing the tombstone, Brock is a freaking psycho animal, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, thank fucking madman.
People are mad that he didn't get Fall from Grace onto the boards.
Yeah.
And some people are saying, it was a mistake, blah, 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 blah. Oba very clearly turned to the right.
Yep.
Like, I don't think Brock wanted to take that bump, and he doesn't have to. Like, the move should stand on its own. And now I just don't know what they do with Oba from here. Are we going to bide time, stretch it out until he wins at Royal Rumble? There's no WrestlePalooza on the schedule, which I think if they wanted that event to be elevated, like that's how you have Oba, where you have Oba win his first world title. But I don't know. I just don't think they're gonna. I don't know what they do with him from here, if he doesn't come after Roman. So
we'll find out soon enough. And again, it's all about you did this now. What comes next? Oba Femi, you are the next big thing. Can you handle that position? Oh, and just to give you an update, Gino, I have the scores in for the team.
We love it.
And then moving into Sunday, we talked a little bit about Kevin Owens returning, becoming #1 contender, getting inserted into that matchup, which mind-numbing to everybody.
Bro, there were 2 names on our lips after Gunther came out, and we were like, it's either KO or Randy. And I wasn't sure about KO. We know Randy's back. So I was like, is KO even healthy? But
see, and neither of those names were on my lips. I thought it was going to be Oba because of how he sacrificed his title shot to get Brock, beat Brock the night before, So throw him in. Here's a way he can get his title opportunity back.
Yeah, that would have been. I would have been fine with that too. But Sammy's face would not have been as great if it was anybody else. That he literally didn't blink. He literally didn't change his expression until a quarter of the way through the match. He's just standing there like.
He didn't even get involved in the match at first. He just watched Kevin Owens go for Finn Balor beat the daylights out of each other. It was brilliant.
What a way to start off a night two. Like, if you had any reservations coming into night two, like plenty of the people I saw online and plenty of the people I was watching it with, when you have the night start out with Nick Aldis having to shake hands with Gunther and put him in the match, I didn't know he was the GM again. I guess that was shown somewhere else besides the main product.
It was part of the post show yesterday.
That explains it. Yeah. That explains it. I don't watch that.
He ripped up his letter of resignation.
Gotcha. Because I did watch Kevin Owens' speech during the post show tonight because I wanted to see what he was going to say. He talked about the girl battling with ALS and how that helped him. Like he would talk with her and like her inspiration to him helped him want to come back. Aww. And Big E and him shared a moment where there's like, were you like okay with that you might never come back? And it was like I don't want to go into it too much, but I mean it was beautiful and Kevin's gonna be that white meat baby face, and when he's talking with CM Punk, the promo battles are gonna be insane. I just don't think he's gonna beat CM Punk. So.
No.
Yeah.
Well, it's a first time ever one-on-one encounter. These two have never shared the ring, by the way, with each other. So literally, it's the first time ever. So you might get more out of this than you think, and you might get surprised for all we know. Because SmackDown's a clean slate, as far as I'm concerned. There's only one target for Roman. That's Oba.
Yeah, and also, Punk and Owens are such good talkers. The promo battles they're going to have, they're going to be pretty solid.
I hope we get a little bit of Kevin Steen some point out of these promo battles.
Yeah, like indie style pipe bombs, whatever, bringing up the real stuff. Like, it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Dude, the only thing I want to hear Punk do is refer to one of Steen's old theme songs, which was the Now You're a Man from the movie Orgasmo.
Oh, my goodness. Is that Matt Stone and Trey Parker movie?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, JJ.
I may have been a little young to watch that when that came out, so.
Gino! Damn it, Gino, you freaking idiot!
Thank goodness for Cinemax. What am I talking about?
He used to use that for his entrance theme.
Bloody hell.
Wow.
Anyway.
I mean, did anybody realistically think after night one, which again wasn't super spectacular, but with the cards and everything like that, did anybody really think that night two was going to be better?
No, not at all.
Everybody thought that night one was star-studded. That was going to be the bigger night.
Guilty.
Oh, Ash did.
I was one of those people. No, I was about to say I was one of those people where I was like, "Wow, night one's really stacked. Night two's got a hell of a job following that up."
Sarcastically.
Yeah, it's like you look at everybody that's on night one, Liv, Io, Cody, Punk, Brock, Oba, and then you go to night two and you're like, Baron Corbin.
Accurate. This is accurate.
And it's just like, okay.
Honestly, though,
this is big.
About Corbin, if you're going to pay and invest in somebody to come back to your company that you want to be a bad guy, what better way to do that than having him beat one of your big baby faces for a title that nobody thinks he deserves? Like, you're going to get him booed out of the building.
Predicting.
Damn it!
Because that's the only one Noah got wrong in predictions. He picked Trick Williams and I picked Baron Corbin.
I'm so mad about that!
Because it seems so obvious now. It's like, duh.
It was the first damn title he won when he first was involved in WWE. Damn it!
When he hit the end of days, I was like, "There's no way they're gonna not protect this finisher in his first match back."
Let's be real. The end of days is WWE's one winged angel. Let's be real here.
Well, only one person's kicked out of End of Days, as far as I can remember, and unfortunately, it didn't happen here. And I was like, crap.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say
it was-
the end of days is about as predicted in WWE as the 3D is.
3D, not 1D. Okay, I'll give you
I
that.
said with 3D on purpose.
Okay, I'm just was getting my brain in check here. Okay, yeah, I'll give you that. All right, let me get the graphics here.
So yeah, Noah and whoever makes the intro video for your guys' amazing videos every time you start them, if that call and that clip isn't in there, then I don't even know what's the point of having the intro at this point. That's gotta be in there ASAP. Rock.
Wait, what clip you talking about? What clip you talking about?
You guys start the show with like a bunch of clips of like you guys talking and doing your stuff and the like semi highlights of what you've done in the past. Like that one, like if I had to say, I would be like, insert here Noah's call on Chelsea Green winning.
Yes, fucking yes, finally, fucking yes, Chelsea's champion, yes. Let's
For
start that.
now, temporarily, yes, but let's enjoy the ride while we can.
And she deserves. She yeah, seriously.
I'm
and
not
Michael,
saying she doesn't deserve it.
I know you're not saying that.
But
Anyway.
the sad thing though is that all of us are just accepting the fact that it's interim. She has to fight Rhea. She's probably going to lose to Rhea. But what if?
It's possibly.
What if
Possibility.
during this little interim run she proves herself and they actually put her over on Rhea?
That'd be so fucking awesome.
I mean, like Roman said to Seth, what's going to happen? Rhea's just going to win and then get hurt again?
Damn.
Damn, Gino.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
No lies detected, though. No lies detected.
This is why you have stars to help make other stars, and Chelsea is a bona fide star. Pledge your allegiance. Well, sorry, this is We the People. Pledge your allegiance to Chelsea Green.
You idiots. But yes.
Wow.
We stand on guard for she.
Yes, we pledge our allegiance to the hot mess, don't we, Noah?
In hot mess we trust. Yes, Chelsea, yes. Stop it, JJ.
I can't tell if that. I mean, I know now that's the audio that you're using, but I can't tell if just when you put the picture up, Noah just starts screaming yes again.
No, Noah does. I am not playing any audio. Noah literally starts popping every time.
It's the moment I'm on a rant. I know he's going to bring up the graphic, and then immediately I'm going to go into my freaking Chelsea happy freaking stance because I'm so damn happy for Laura Van Ness. Dadgum. Woman that follows Sis Japan to Ring of Honor, and of course TNA, which is the former the TNA Knockouts champion. Again, long overdue for Chelsea Green. Just saying.
Noah is like Woody from Toy Story. When you put the image up, you're pulling the string on his back. He's going to say one of three things. He's going to say one of three things.
Exactly.
Don't encourage it, Gino. Stop it.
There's a snake in Agent N's boots.
What the hell? Now I'm on the shenanigans with Gino, and Gino right now is shenaniganing me.
Yeah,
why is everyone against me?
Usually I come into these videos more sober. So I'm a little bit frisky right now. So
hey, it's all good. We're loving it. And
we're live,
to answer your question, Gino, I'm the one that makes the intro videos. I did all that editing, so
it's very well done, bro. I enjoy that greatly. So
thank you.
I can't always catch these videos start to finish because you guys are friggin' nocturnal animals.
Hey,
but
you know what?
I do my best.
Well,
this is what the No DQ review would be if Psycho Jet Black was there just like nonstop, because like we know that he does his thing, but like Virtue is very Noah Foster-ish, and he's like, look, we're keeping this on a timer regardless. You have to remember, this started under a concept of open mic night. This is art therapy for the week. Just getting together and being able to talk with friends about wrestling. So we just go for however long we want to sometimes. 2, 3, 4 hours. You know, so
yeah.
Well,
and the fact that we're earlier tonight than normal, you know, Noah's got his counter going because he does have work in the morning, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and then he's got the Predictions League breakdown where we will be revealing the results live on air to everybody at the same time. Stay tuned for that.
And that'll be a great lead-in because, again, we've talked about it already, but at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific tomorrow, we'll be talking to the former Joe Gacy, Joseph Sawyer. Who's made his presence felt very much this weekend. And I know that's part of why Nick came in, and we'll get to you, but let's finish going through SummerSlam.
Yeah, because for
you
all
know,
the Chelsea
I
Green
won't.
turrets.
I was gonna say I won't throw the picture up again to give Noah Tourette's, but we do have to talk about that ladder match and just the ending and how she was kind of laid out on the ladder and almost Undertaker rose herself.
Right.
Got up, climbed up, looked around, realized she was alone, grabbed
I love that so
and
much.
just the expression on her face. The shock that it was actually allowed to happen. I mean, again, watch your ears for Noah, but you can see the expression on her face. Like she can't believe it.
Yes! Biggest bitch in Minnesota history.
And the crowd, the way they came unglued for her.
Much like me.
You know,
I'm
I'm sure we all could kind of see where it was going when she's hanging there and the other 4 women are up on the other ladders. I said to my boy, she's fit as fuck. She's going to sit up, show us those crunches have been paying off.
I was waiting for her to slip off.
Yeah, once the crowd realized, like, they're like trying to wake her up. They're like, "Come on, Chelsea!" And then she like came to, and it was just.
I was
gorgeous.
literally on the edge of my seat telling Chelsea to wake up. I was preferably just trying to punch her or slap her in the face like this Louis Vuitton cell wake up like Piper Niven did in a previous life. And I love the callback, by the way, prior to the freaking freaking when she pushed Tiffany Stratton off the ladder, similar to the way Tiffany pushed Chelsea Green off the ladder 2 years ago at Money in the Bank, as JJ said toodles, and me and Kim were calling Tiffany Stratton's rise as TV Time got the Money in the Bank briefcase. I loved that callback so much.
I mean, just listen to it.
I love it. I love it. Oh, man. There's that bell.
And if you listen really closely, you hear Aaron Rift screaming in all different keyboarded letters with no.
I was reading. I literally private message Aaron, and I will say, give you the transcript, and I quote, Aaron, are you okay? And then when and here's the thing, that was after the United States Championship match. And basically he said, Chelsea wins, I won't be, ha 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 ha. And then I said, I pray she does, angry emoji. And then I literally went back in there and said, yes, fucking less. And then he typed, G34, SD, DVS, DWW.
That's giving Hulk trying to type on a keyboard responses right there.
It was my greatest moment of the weekend, more than freaking getting on JJ for the fact they called the WWE title undisputed. Oh man, I fucking lost my shit. Oh gosh.
I'm just gonna say, as somebody who got into professional wrestling around late 90s, has been a WWE guy, like primarily. I didn't really appreciate WCW until it was gone, or ECW, or even TNA and stuff. And you know, I was like AEW, but I don't watch it all the time. I don't know what else is professional wrestling other than what they gave us, especially tonight. Like, if you can't find enjoyment in this, then like I literally can't help you. It's almost what happens when I see the audience score on the new Spider-Man movie. Like 2% of people gave it a thumbs down. Like, what the frick is going to make you happy then? Like, you need to go get help. And I'm here.
It should have been Batman.
Wow.
I'm so damn happy. It's a strike error. Oh, no. What did that say at the bottom? Celebrating 10 years of strike. Oh, damn. That's harsh, but also accurate.
Well,
and again,
Zack Ryder won the IC title
I said
in a
that.
ladder match 10 years ago.
Yeah, I said that. And look at Chelsea. Again, so damn happy. Yes! Oh, my gosh.
And I feel responsible for that because they were doing the predictions on Tuesday. And I just so happened to open it live. I'm not always able to watch everything live, so I go back and watch it later. But like they were talking about that match, and somebody had mentioned Chelsea winning, and I was like, somebody shaves their head if Chelsea wins. And then Aaron's like, this is how confident I am. Chelsea's not going to win. And I was like, oh, snap.
I
wish
said
picked her.
I said my mind was Charlotte, my heart was Chelsea. And again, y'all's forum on no DQ. It's fun to participate, but I love to moderate. I have my own forum, and guess what? It happened later. And this guy is a witness, and this bat's a witness. When I said in ad nauseum, fuck the chance for a point. No one deserves it more than Chelsea Green. I'm gonna die on that mountain. I'm going with that. Damn it, and I did.
Damn, Aaron really shot himself in the foot with the bazooka while stepping on a landmine with that statement, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yep, because he who shall not be named now has to show up for episode 400 of the No DQ review.
So stay tuned for more on that, Ash. but yeah, and again, while we're talking about Chelsea Green, don't you do it. While we're talking about the winner, I do want to give a shout out again to all 5 women. They did take extreme measures in this match, especially considering a couple of them very inexperienced in this environment. Last Legend was her first ever main roster. It was her 3rd ever ladder match, and she was the other one we were kind of holding out for, and she was a powerful beast. The bad blood with Jade Cargill and Charlotte Flair reaching a boiling point. Both of them been costing each other, as I predicted, because again, they've been the foil of one another this year. Damn it. And Tiffany Stratton, again, she's fearless. She doesn't necessarily worry about the risk that comes in this type of environment. I'm pretty sure she took the meanest bumps, including that damn powerbomb out of the corner. So kudos to all 5. And I love the little tag team friendship chemistry with Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton. I love it even more now they're both champions. So, again, this ladder match, it felt right. It really was. Pretty awesome.
To that point, it's a little cringe to me when Tiffany's behaving like that, but it's totally fine when Chelsea behaves like that. Like, I just, to me,
how a hot mess
personally,
influences. You know,
Yeah.
the hot mess influence is all. I'm just saying. Tiffany Stratton, she's having fun with Chelsea Green. Why the fuck not?
hey,
Well-
I'm sure we would all want to. Never mind. I'm just gonna.
Don't, Gino!
Apparently,
You gotta let
on
the filter kick
post
in.
show-
No, do tell, please.
Apparently,
No,
on the post
JJ.
show, the Hot Mess has dedicated her victory to Michael Pietro.
Yes. Yeah.
Suck it! You
I
out of
love
generation,
the
no
levels
touchable.
of pettiness there.
Now, Chelsea Green is the one person in this business that deserves to be petty more than ever against that freaking geezer. I love that.
Let's move things forward a little bit because
All right.
as much as I love giving Noah Tourette's,
The JJ,
we
stop
do
it.
have other stuff to discuss.
Yeah, there was 500 matches that night. Yes!
Yes!
Yes, Chelsea, yes! Stop it!
Now we need to talk about human monies on a pole.
Oh, bloody hell. Oof. From
Let's
one
talk about
extreme-
it. Yeah.
Look,
From one extreme to the other.
Look, I said it during Simply Predicting. I cut him off and took the lead on this one because
As he should
at
have.
the end of the day, it didn't matter about story. It didn't matter about anything else. This was just a match for fun, for entertainment to break things up.
It was actually for human monies.
Yes. Yes. I
Not
know
just
I know
fun.
there were human monies on the line.
Can't get
But
used to that.
this didn't have the emotional value as Chelsea winning, as
Accurate.
Chad Gable winning,
Accurate.
as Cody and
Right.
Punk.
Accurate.
You know, this was just a fun match.
Accurate.
You know, at the end of the day,
At the end
this
of the
comes
day-
down to tribalism. And I hate that T word, but I know it's true. Everyone in this room knows it's true. Everyone in the
Accurate.
comments knows it's true.
Accurate.
If you got behind Danhausen in Jacksonville and you can't get behind Danhausen in Stamford and he's doing the exact same fucking thing, go fuck yourself.
I literally told on commentary, I witnessed Danhausen's AEW debut in Cleveland, Ohio, when he came up from under the ring and helped Orange Cassidy against Adam Cole, baby, in a freaking lights out match during Beach Break. So I've literally seen Danhausen's career metamorphosis through both companies. But I never was a big fan of the gimmick, because again, it's definition of a carny, but a ring and merchandise endorsement.
There's nothing wrong with the gimmick.
Get that. I get
There's
that.
nothing wrong with being over the top. There's nothing wrong with being... Look, at the end of the day, he is what WWE is marketed for. He is designed for kids.
Thank you. I've been saying that. Thank you. Continue.
You know, there's other wrestlers in Jacksonville that could be doing, maybe not to the same extreme, but could be getting marketed towards kids like Danhausen is. They just choose not to do it.
It's not their demo. It's not their target audience. Tony Khan doesn't care. He says, F them kids. We're here for the people who grew up in the Attitude Era and want that type of wrestling, and we're not going to change because we don't want to risk losing our base, which, again, is fine. I get it from a business perspective, but you have a guy like that walk out the door. You have a gal like Jade walk out the door. You have guys main eventing, Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, walking out the door, pushing some of them out the door. They almost pushed Jericho out the door. So at a certain point, you know,
well, they also didn't want to be a soft WWE product. They didn't want to be another WWE. They wanted to be the alternative, and people like MJF had spoken ad nauseum about that with the state of AEW being better than it has been. John Moxley, the proverbial boogeyman between the gray of black of night and the light of day, proverbially holding this company on his back for the best of times, worst of times, the most cringe of times, the most questionable of times, and ushering in a stronger in-ring non-content work ethic. Then you got guys at the forefront that made AEW be defined like Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay, who could elevate it to another level, seeing the strength and growth of this women's division without Monet or friggin' Thomas Toy Storm involved, and the top being showcased. At the end of the day, I'm going to bring my quote back. At the end of the day, it's everyone their own. At the end of the day, WWE is not AEW. At the end of the day, one is tailor-made for kids and for Sydney from Cincinnati and Joe Smo from Kokomo. The other one is for the professional wrestling fans, the hardcore in-ring enthusiasts like me that want that dynamic in-ring action with proverbial hardcore subtle blah blah. That's why I love Sky Blue. She's a crazy bitch born hardcore out of the womb. I said what I said. And with that being said, at the end of the day, that's what wrestling is. You pick what you enjoy, and if you don't enjoy certain stuff, it's okay to enjoy that too. But if that stuff you don't enjoy decides to be that same type of joy by someone else in a different company, that's not for you to overrule. If you're going to be judgmental, and I mean this in a polite way, observatively, constructively judgmental, not screaming at the top of your lungs like you're the smartest man in the room and you're actually the dumbest dumbass also on the internet. You know who you are. Then shut your mouth, turn off your phone, and get away from it all, because guess what? This business is meant to be inconsistent. You're going to get some of the best that you love and some of the most that you hate, no matter where you go. Find a happy medium and appreciate.
And I want to make a comparison to that point, right? Because you're mentioning this. At the end of the day, this is a business. The situation with AEW is they have money coming in, not from the company to pay these guys. Essentially, like this is money from his family and just having money. So you can have, and they're tailored more towards adults, which is totally fine. Again, not complaining, but at the end, as a business aspect, you got, say, an R-rated movie that's obviously not for kids. They don't usually make as much money as those things that are geared, PG-13 or PG for that kids and older people can also see. The fifth installment
of the Minions, for example, because Lord knows they haven't run that in the ground like Toy Story or Shrek. Continue.
I mean, people show up and they spend their money. So, like, financially, I want to see AEW get more eyes on the product and be able to bring more money into the company, have better merch, frankly, and things of that nature. Like I'm not just hating on AEW. I got an AEW headband right over here, and an AEW t-shirt in my closet. I'll go to the shows when they're there. But if Tony Khan had to answer to investors or a board or something else, then we would probably start to see them become a little bit more like WWE, because they're making money hand over fist even with a half-empty stadium.
Exactly. Well, that being said, Petro Register program,
Yes.
Danhausen, and human monies, and money that is more fake than Monopoly if you all actually saw what was in that bag. But let's go ahead and bring people in tune to the feature attraction of the Carnival of Madness. That was a human monies pole match, now being demonstrated and narrated by the Renegade of Wrestling, J.J. Williams. Very nice, very renegade. Go ahead.
I was just entertained by this from start to finish. I think it might have been a mistake not letting Dom get the victory.
How
you could have protected Danhausen because it wasn't a victory via pinfall or submission or anything like that.
Right.
And with Judgment Day shenanigans, it would have been very easy. But I don't know. And then the run-in, the addition of the other guy.
Don't say his name.
Don't say what?
Don't say it.
Don't say what?
Don't.
Go Hendry.
Son of a bitch! Damn it.
Why can't I watch that clip on repeat all night long?
Nick freaking had to come on microphone just to do it.
You know what happens when you do that?
What happens?
Shut it, Noah. We've only got 30 minutes left anyways.
I'm already over it.
I just want to say to that point, to the contrary to your point, I think that they protected Dom by not having him take a pinfall. I think they protected Dom by not having him have to take a pinfall. And to Noah's point, to the contrary to Noah's point, I mean, the value of what was in that bag went up tenfold when he started handing it out to people because they're selling that fake monies at the merch and online, but they're nowhere near as valuable as being given it directly after the match from Danhausen. So if somebody wants to put that money on eBay or whatever site, they could probably get a pretty penny for it because, like you said, Danhausen moves merch. And as somebody who went to the Superstore at Tampa at Backlash, dude, there was so much Danhausen merch. The mask, this chain thing that just says cursed, the shirts that says you are cursed, whatever city, which I don't understand why that would sell. Why would you want your city to be cursed? Makes no sense. So I didn't buy the shirt. My buddy did, and he bought the mask. And they're going to probably have Funko Pops coming out soon.
Oh, bloody hell.
Meanwhile, there wasn't a single Io or Asuka merch, not even Asuka's face paints, which I have a problem with, by the way. But continue.
Anyway.
That's pretty much it as far as the Danhausen thing. I don't want to go too much into it, but just take it lighter. It's just fun, you guys. Seriously,
Yeah, I mean, seriously, even with the way I took commentary, at the end of the day, look at Wade Barrett. You're going to see two people demonstrate the Danhausen shenanigans to the extreme. One finds them an absolute comedy gold. The other one finds them absolutely absurd and annoying. Stat Boy, Noah. There you go.
And I just want to say, my brothers, we grew up watching wrestling together, but they by no means watch wrestling. But tonight, they care about Danhausen, especially my one brother. He wants to know, did he win? Did Danhausen win? He cares. And there's the Minions doll. Shout out Ash. See, is that a Noah Foster Minions doll? Or?
That is the Noah Foster version.
That is not me.
Sorry,
Wearing a suit,
the gimmick.
tie, the glasses, the whole nine.
Bloody
Just got to put a headset on him.
I was about to say, Noah joked about there being a fifth Minions movie. I wouldn't mind that, actually, because I like the Minions.
And remember, they're a spin-off of Despicable Me.
Yes,
so that's
3
layers deep.
Yeah. But in all seriousness, this was funny. I liked it. It's subjective. If you got a good laugh out of it, awesome. If not, then this style of comedy is not for you.
Ding, ding. Simple as that.
And they didn't overstay their welcome. It was in and out.
Yeah, and let's not forget, AEW did have a match for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Championship.
I try and forget that because you and I went to bat in opposite sides when it came to that freaking match.
Hey, and Jeff Jarrett is still the champion. He may actually surpass Roman Reigns and Athena. throwing that out there.
Congrats to Danhausen, and we'll see if the Judgment Day
No.
shenanigans continue. And moving on.
So that brings us to Penta El Cielo Miedo versus Chad Gable.
Thank you! Finally!
My name is Chad Gable, and mark my words, he will start every promo like that moving forward.
Well, we know who Chad Gable actually is now that he's back on our screen, and they're actually booking him.
You know, I'm happy for Chad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wish he had gotten this moment, whatever it was, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when he was feuding with Sammy and had the opportunity to win the title in Minnesota in his hometown.
Right.
I wish it didn't have to take an excursion for him to Mexico, doing the El Grande Americano gimmick, which is still one of the greatest revelations that I can think of, discovering that Chad Gable was El Grande Americano.
I was shocked.
Same.
Didn't expect it at all.
No. Like I say in the intro, it was like the revelation that Juan Cena and John Cena were the same person. And you being as big of a fan of the John Cena as you are, like, that had to blow your mind as well.
Bro, I just didn't expect it. I had no idea Mr. America was Hulk Hogan. It also caught me by surprise. Like, I had no idea that the Calgary Kid was
The Miz.
Like this all just blows my mind. Actually, I did not know that was the Miz. That's the one real one I didn't know until it happened. But dang, brilliant.
Urge.
But yeah, like, I wish it hadn't taken all that for Chad Gable to actually get over. And you know, the whole mug root beer thing at the end, I was waiting for that to be somebody.
I'm so damn glad it wasn't.
Now, if
Seriously.
it was the Mug Cream Soda mascot, that guy's a heel. They would have done something. But I didn't think Mug wanted to be associated with ruining that moment. So I was like, but that guy was tall. Like, I know Chad's not the tallest guy in the locker room, but like that guy who was in that suit was tall.
He probably was part of the Minnesota Vikings football team for all we know, considering, again, Chad Gable, these are his roots. But I'm so damn glad he finally got his freaking moment. Long overdue to one of my favorite wrestlers, underrated in this company since the Black and Gold NXT. His first singles championship, nonetheless, either. A workhorse of his own class. And he was the one that brought Penta into WWE, introduced him back when he hated Lucha Libre and Luchadors. How time heals the freaking soul and you become humble. Absolutely an earned win tonight for Chad Gable. And thank you, Penta.
Not just time, but also culturing yourself. Like, you can be hating of luchadors forever if you don't actually get outside of your little echo chamber bubble and experience other cultures. And he gained that respect. But I'm just thinking, how cool would that have been if the mug guy ended up being the current Grande Americano? He took the thing off and just hit him. Nuclear heat. But I'm glad that didn't happen.
I would have gone to Mexico and freaking assaulted him. Anyway, that being said, I'm so damn glad that Chad Gable won in front of his family. Hell, that's one of probably the biggest victories that Minnesota has seen in a long time.
Yeah, 100%. And then, of course, our main event, Seth and Roman.
Wow.
I'm not surprised that Seth went back to the Shield well.
Me neither. You called it.
I did. I called it for the other side, though. But I knew we were going to get it somehow, some way. You know, because what I said, for those of you that didn't hear our call, I thought it would be cool for Roman to flip the Shield onto Seth. Because Seth is always using the Shield gimmick to get under Roman's skin.
The symbolism tonight.
But have them be doing the match, and then the Shield music hit, and it's Jimmy, Jay, and Jacob coming out in the Shield attire.
I definitely thought they were coming out because they didn't accompany him to the ring, and usually when they don't, like that leaves the opportunity for them to run in. But Roman, he said it, he's proven it. He is on his own redemption tour to do it the right way. This is another match. Okay, don't get me started on the stair spot at WrestleMania because I'll lose my shit. Don't get me started on the 35 to 2 minutes of countouts that were missed and then Seth hit him with a foreign object. Don't get me started on all that. This ref was clearly a rookie, but Roman's been doing this clean, no interference, which is the biggest problem with his 4-year-long reign, was that he wasn't winning matches clean and then just moving on to the next guy. And like, he's doing it the right way, and I had hope that he would do it the right way. And to the contrary on that, like, Roman needed to shed the shield. Rollins was going to try everything to get under his skin. And I knew Roman. I said it to Dave and the guys when I was watching. He had the chair. I'm like, he's throwing it out of the ring. He's doing this the right way. And sure enough, slid it out the ring. Oh, then what's the point of the ref bump? Well, you can't have that the chair spot, the what will he, won't he, without the ref bump. So that's why you have the ref bump.
It's also one of those things where, again, testing the moral code of these two men that have been brothers in this business, defined by one another. As I said, I followed the Shield since the very beginning, and tonight I truly felt like we witnessed the Shield ending. The book was closed. What started a proverbial chair shot to the back ended with an emphatic finish with no asterisks. That's what was more important here, not the championship, but the closure. The fact that Seth Rollins came out with a white Shield vest, looking to make the slate clean, and the proverbial colors of his gear defining the areas of the maniacal Monday Night Messiah, the architect, the guy, Seth freaking Rollins, the better professional wrestler. There was more than just a need that Cody was basically saying he needed to do. There was something here that both men desired. And in a way, with Seth's defeat and Roman's victory, I think they both got it, especially with the proverbial, and this really took me back, final fist bump. The fact they even called back to Dean Ambrose, John Moxley, Dirty Deeds, rebound lariat was such a nice touch considering the bridge that man also had with those two. They are brothers in this business for life. They have truly led this business. Why one is literally redefining a professional wrestling company. The other two have become the two biggest superstars and wrestlers in their own mindsets and namesakes in WWE. But right now, truly, there is only one. And for Seth, I think this was one last final one. I don't think they need any more after this. And for Roman, now it's a whole new chapter considering what he's proven so far, but what he's finally been removed from. I couldn't figure out a better way for it to end with these two and what proverbially was heel versus heel, but it was brother versus brother for one last time. And it was the last time I think it was needed too.
Yeah. It was a great match, great way to end the story. Great way to cap off the weekend, I think.
100%. And I mentioned my brother earlier because I called him on the phone on the drive home. And he knows who Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins are, obviously. He doesn't live under a rock, or at least he knows who Roman Reigns is. But
and fair enough.
I couldn't help, maybe it was the excitement of everything. I might need to watch it back, but the match from my childhood that I go back to, like, that really, really, really got me like hooked on wrestling was WrestleMania 17. I know everybody's talked it ad nauseum, Stone Cold versus The Rock. This felt like that match. The false finishes, the using each other's finishers, the storyline with weapons, will he, won't he, what are they doing? Like, the match could have been 10 minutes shorter and ended earlier, and I still would have loved the match, but they freaking told a story. And to the point about Seth Rollins being a better professional wrestler than Roman Reigns, I can't remember who said it to CVV, what wrestling legend told him that, but wrestling, obviously, it's all subjective, but wrestling and pro wrestling happens between the moves. And there might be nobody better in professional wrestling today than Roman Reigns between the moves, the looks, the communication, the talking that smack, the everything that he brings to when they're not even tying up with each other and they're not even touching each other. Like, it's just infectious, and this is wrestling, damn it. So
and the architect, for that matter, also does that. Again, how well these two men know each other, shape one another, take from one another. And to your point, I even made that comparison on commentary, considering how many times it took for The Rock, who went off to become a part-timer, become the superstar, to come back to WWE and finally beat that bald-headed bitch, his own words, when it mattered the most on the grandest stage. This was Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns' grandest stage to finish their saga and close the book on the Shield altogether. And I couldn't think of a better way to do it.
No notes. Except for maybe like Roman Reigns doesn't have to play by the rules in title matches. Like, where's the count out threat? If you know you're booking that, like, dude, like, I don't know. I guess maybe like I like when you set up rules and then you follow them. And this wasn't a no DQ, no count out. I get it. Oh, it's for the championship, so we let more slide. Well, that's not technically true because they started doing the count out once they got to ringside. So does being out of the ring not count when you leave ringside? If you're in the crowd, you're no longer eligible for a count out. Like, that's just my logical brain. I need to
Stop
just turn it off
playing
and enjoy.
logic. I'm going to tell you right now what I've told every other Yahoo in this family and every other Yahoo on the internet with all due respect. Stop putting logic in professional wrestling. You'll live better and enjoy it more, damn it. There's one word you lose: idiocy. And every referee, especially in a main event setting, offers idiocy. It is what it is. Deal with it. Count out don't mean shit.
And there's Noah Foster for everybody.
Why don't we let Ash speak now, shall we?
Yeah, please.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I did not see the Seth Rollins.
Stop it!
Yeah, I didn't see the main event match. I haven't gotten around to watching it yet.
It's okay.
I envy you because you get to enjoy what I think is a fantastic match. Probably Meltzer 3 stars, but what I thought was
Lord,
a fantastic match. And you get to watch it.
Let's be honest, Gino. 1 3/4.
That's being generous. That's a generous. But yeah, Ash.
No, he's right. He's right. It is a 3-star match because it's a Seth Rollins match, not a Roman Reigns match. It gets deducted because it's a Roman Reigns match.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And when Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega have the exact same match, it'll be a 7-star.
Oy vey. That guy's going to retire off that ranking system. More bizarre than Rotten Tomatoes.
It'll never happen, but I kind of want Roman to go to AEW just so I can see if Meltzer will change his tone on his match ratings for Roman matches.
I bet you guarantee that will happen because I got a theory about this, okay?
Ooh, let her cook. Let her cook.
Uh-oh.
So, you know a guy named Bryan Danielson?
Yeah, it's the American Dragon, of course. Now retired.
Never heard of him.
Yeah. or Daniel Bryan, as other people might know him.
Great guy.
Yes. So,
You're your homework, bro. I know.
I'm kidding.
I know you
Let her
are.
cook.
Continue, Ash.
You guys don't find it very, I don't know, coincidental, suspicious that Bryan Danielson got his first 5-star match from Dave Meltzer the moment he, I don't know, stepped foot in AEW and had a match with Kenny Omega? Just saying.
Well, considering that wasn't the WWE superstar Daniel Bryan, it was the fucking American Dragon from PWG and Ring of Honor, Bryan Danielson. Raw, aggressive, unfiltered passion, and able to truly be himself in the ring without WWE handcuffing his style. To a point, Daniel Bryan did wrestle most of the same, but truly I didn't see the Bryan Danielson as Daniel Bryan combination until he became the new Daniel Bryan, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Also, Ash, and I'm sorry, no, I'm saying this tongue-in-cheek, but the difference is the amount of people in the arena and things of that nature, but I love Daniel Bryan in WWE and in Bryan Danielson, his true name in AEW. Like, I just wish we got to see more of him, but he's happy doing what he's doing and the light schedule, not traveling every week. Like, but with Brie Mode, I know Noah's favorite. She's hurt now, but with her in WWE, like, I think Daniel Bryan's going to have to get he's going to have to be in the Hall of Fame at some point. So at some point he has to be back. As with Jon Moxley, who I think Roman even name dropped Dean Ambrose as he was walking out of the ring after the event went off the air, but they still showed the stuff after. So.
That's fair, and we all know how close Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns are. I mean, again, they literally were with each other all the way to the very end and beyond in that respect.
All three of them are. I will say this. I do love Shield lore shit, so I'm definitely going to go back and watch this match and enjoy every minute of it.
As a guy who puts the Fed in his own classification of professional wrestling passion, I recommend that you do that.
Got a couple of questions from Marshall in the chat. Do you think Nick Aldis will wrestle again?
I'd like him to, yeah.
Yeah, I want their match.
I think he will if the situation calls for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point.
I think all Aldis really wanted was to be able to say that he had a match in the WWE.
The dream. The
And
dream
he
lived.
did.
The dream fulfilled in front of his family.
In
and
a
he had a
stadium.
match against one of the greatest right now.
Yep.
Now, there's two other people that I think he already that I know, but we'll see if they pay it off. But he's got two other people that one of them returned last night, and one of them hasn't been seen in a while. That he has confrontational physical altercation history with, and that's Randy Orton and the Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
And I would absolutely want to watch both of those matches, especially after seeing the National Treasure do his thing. Because I didn't watch him in NWA and TNA, but I know he can go, and I would love to see those matches.
Yeah, if he was going to put the boots on one more time, those are the only two opponents at this point that I would say he would do it against, because considering, again, the long-term history. But again, Gunther was the perfect foil considering the roots of traditional British strong-style wrestling, European tekas that those men have been founded upon since the genesis of their career. Couldn't be happier for the National Treasure. But again, in WWE, it's that dream. He achieved it, did with his family, now back to business.
I'm going to add one more name to that list. And that's only because a guy like me really knows the history here. But let me get Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce.
I was going to say that, but Adam doesn't want to wrestle anymore, so
That's
I
why I
don't
didn't
think.
say it either.
I understand that, but I think if anybody could goad him into putting those boots on one more time, it would be Aldis. Arguably two of the greatest NWA world champions since the TNA era.
Keep Payne there.
You know, and there's so many fans that don't know that heritage of them, that just think of them as general managers in suits, that I think with WWE not necessarily having a partnership, but a good relationship with Billy Corgan and the National Wrestling Alliance, because Natty has gone there now 2 years in a row for their anniversary shows.
Yes, she has.
So with them having a decent little working relationship, to be able to get some of that footage of Aldis and Pierce as NWA champion and insert it into their video packages to kind of help build this story up, man, that would be great.
And I think that will benefit Adam Pearce as well, because and this is going to benefit Aldis whether he ever wrestles again or not. Like, he's already been this imposing stature that he talked about on CVV when Vince was there for the short time. Like, he was told to stand back, not look taller than the wrestlers, not look bigger than the wrestlers, all these things. But now, if Nick Aldis gets in a wrestler's face, now we've got that. Ooh, he might, if he wants to, he'll lace them up and teach you a lesson the way no other boss can do to their employee. Like, we had this whole Stone Cold Vince thing growing up. Everybody wants to beat up their boss or whatever, but people out there are also bosses. And what bosses sometimes don't want to beat up their employees sometimes. So you have that dichotomy now that's a viable threat too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very fair take. Again, all
And
I gotta
not
say
only
is
would
that
it do something for Aldis and Pierce, I think it would do a lot for the National Wrestling Alliance, because it would really help to bring more eyes back to that product.
See, Michael Cole actually talks about the history of the NWA, much like he talked about Dusty Rhodes and Cody, and of course, former NWA champion in his own right. I would love to see it, so I'll just say never, but in modern day, you hit the nail on the head. Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre in a time capsule of the last time you ever see these two men grace a professional wrestling product on your screen in some capacity. Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis.
And then Marshall also asks, and this is going to be opening up Pandora's box, if you will.
Oh no, what did he ask?
What do you think of Meltzer as a dirt sheet writer? Curious everyone's actual opinion on air panelists.
So I'll start as the one person on here that A, doesn't follow, B, doesn't read, C, doesn't listen. I simply give you this answer. Indifferent. I don't rank, I don't rate. If a match resonates with me, if someone in wrestling resonates with me, you all know what I do. I simply say my own line of fandom. That's professional wrestling, damn it. That's my outlook on the wrestling business, period. There's no other influencer, no dirt sheet, no journalist, no other family member that influences me beyond that. Simple as that.
I think he's a good historian, but I think he's a couple generations behind as far as what is good in professional wrestling. That's the nicest way I can put it, and I'll just leave it there.
I will say this also, because you brought a key word, historian. I don't think historians recognize enough history ongoing as accelerated, better, or moving forward versus the history they already lived through or what they may want to live on through. It's amazing how many people will hold on to a memory and hope to see it recreated in the same fashion or in a better capacity. And if they hold that stature towards the business today, they're never going to be satisfied as far as I'm concerned.
Ash, Gino, Nick, anything that you want to add about Meltzer?
Ash?
All right, I'll say this right now about Meltzer. I don't hate Dave Meltzer. I hate how much he impacted and influenced people on what's good wrestling.
Yeah, if he disappeared tomorrow, I wouldn't notice because I only really know like about any of the stars and all the stuff. I know I made fun of him and the number of stars he was going to give to the main event. But like that's all just based on what I see people sending to the no DQ chat and stuff like that. Like I really don't even acknowledge his existence. And you know, whatever. I'm sure he's a swell fella. But like to me, yeah, like it feels like his and he's definitely had an impact on the business for better or for worse. So you know, we should all be so lucky to have that kind of impact on the business. But at the end of the day, it does feel like. If he's not like, there's just some egregious non-5-star matches on wrestlers who have definitely had 5-star matches. So Kurt Angle for sure. That's exactly who I was going to mention.
There you go.
And it's all subjective, but it seems like people hang on his opinion as gospel, and then it causes people to not have their own opinion. And then that's when it becomes, okay, that's not really how. I mean, whatever, you know, base your opinion on what other people say, but I don't like your opinion is supposed to be your opinion. So
right. That's why I'm on Twitter. I'm constantly saying, think for your bloody selves. Like, make an opinion and stand by it, because you would not believe how often I see people say one opinion about a match, and then as soon as the Observer comes out, they immediately change it so that it fits what Dave Meltzer's thinking. When no, it's okay. You can have differing opinions. It's okay. All right. I say this all the bloody time. One person's 3-star match is another person's 5-star match. And that's fine because it's subjective. There's no such thing in objectivity in pro wrestling.
And thank you everyone for coming to Ash's TED Talk.
And you know,
I was going to say, Noah, thank you for changing the background and giving the solo.
that was
You're
funny.
welcome. And she's not wrong though. Like seriously, the fact that people might be robots. Fucking Google asked, "Are you a robot?" Maybe I'm like, "Here's the damn robot." If you literally follow the religion of Meltzerism.
For example, you know how many 5-star matches Meltzer gave this little buddy, this beautiful, handsome man?
No.
A lot. Do I like this guy because of that? Fuck no. I love me some Techers. That's why I love this man so much. I don't give a shit what Meltzer says about him. I love seeing Zack Sabre Jr. do his technical wrestling. It's just, Oh my god, the way that I'm done.
Okay, this is turning into Ash's euphoria moment. Let's breathe here now. I'm going to cool you down.
Yes.
Calm down.
We know Ash loves bloody Techers. You can buy her shirt at the store. So
Well,
go ahead, Gino. You were
I
going to
also
say.
love European wrestling, by the way.
Well, you and me both, but let's let Papa Gino talk because he probably had something about European wrestling as well. Go ahead, Ronald.
Well, I feel like I've also done a lot of talking, so I'm happy to let Ash go. But two things to that point. One, Twitter's not the place for original thoughts and ideas. It's definitely very much an echo chamber. It's the cesspool of social media. And you know how they changed it from Twitter to X, and it used to be tweets? I kind of consider the new way to call those are excretions, because that's really what they are. And
fair point.
And second to that, I watch a lot of movies and TV shows, and there's a few guys or gals that I value their opinion online. But these people make a point to say we don't always have to agree. Like, I don't listen to people that I always agree with. I listen to people I respect their opinion, even if I disagree with them, because they can articulate their opinion in a logical way that, again, okay, like, you have that opinion, I see it differently, but I respect your opinion. And again, respect is a word that I don't think Twitter's ever had, but you don't have to, like, you're changing your opinion because you find out Papa Meltzer told you to think a different way about it. It's like, that's just not a good way to live your life, man. And men and women, just freaking have your opinions, stick to your guns. It's all subjective, whether it's movies, whether it's wrestling. It's all art today. Like you said, one person's 3-star match might be another person's 5-star match. And you're absolutely right.
At some point, Ash and I need to come up with our own star system, I feel like, because of our freaking
I have
love.
my own rating.
This
is my rating. It goes from, oh my god, this is so fucking amazing, to, oh my god, this was so fucking horrible. This is shit.
I would love to know one match that falls one of those categories and the other. Of course, you guys can go back into the archive of commentary watch-alongs that I do, where more often than not, outside the Fed, I literally say, that's professional wrestling, damn it! At least for one match, particularly, more often than not, out of almost any company.
No,
and there are a couple of times where you'll watch me on Shenanigans or like the watch-alongs where I say verbatim, this is what I love in a pro wrestling match.
Yep.
We had a match tonight that I think can follow that dichotomy. For example, Chelsea Green won the championship, and what I thought was a very entertaining, this is awesome match. But Michael Hayes is back there probably throwing up in the trash can.
Yes, fucking champion, will you stop that?
But Michael Hayes is probably thinking that was the worst thing ever. So we had one example of that tonight. So
And on that technical difficulty, this is a subtle announcement courtesy of your IT simple man. Remember to always check the modulars when it comes to your microphones and speakers before you come in. If you still find you having issues, all you need to do is simply refresh your browser, double check your settings, or check if your USB port have found an unrecognized device. Thank you for coming to the simple IT session. I will always be happy to help you. And now back to our regularly scheduled program.
A wise man once said, you gotta chiggity check yourself before you riggedy wreck yourself.
I thought you were going to say a wise man once said that forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza.
Isn't that what I said?
In a way, yes, I understood both of you. You're all your own philosophers, and Ash is the modern day Confucius. That being said, again, at the end of the day, we all have our own standards we set for our opinions on professional wrestling. Damn it. None of them are 100% right. None of them are 100% wrong. But every one of them of their own merit is why we're able to coexist as an environment of what it should be to engage and enjoy the professional wrestling business. Damn it.
Speaking of engaging in and enjoying the professional wrestling business, Gino talked about how he's been talking a lot. Me and Noah have been talking a lot. Someone we haven't heard a lot from is Nicholas. And that's because he did not watch SummerSlam. He was watching some other independent wrestling. Oh, Nicholas,
Are you awake?
this is your turn to shine.
We'll give him Jeopardy 3 seconds.
Yes. Hello. Yep.
Yes, you're here. You're here. Go ahead and talk about the stuff that you watched this weekend, good sir.
Oh, yeah. Y'all. Sounds like y'all had a great time with SummerSlam.
Sorry if we put you to sleep talking about it.
No, it's okay. I'm just gonna. I'll make it quick. I saw. Some of our friends out there in the independent scene. I got to see the Focus Pro Wrestling show, Get Rich or Die Trying. It's a great show. A lot of great stuff on there, a lot of standouts. Shout out to friend of the channel, Dr. Redacted. He was an absolute madman this weekend.
Not surprised.
Being at Focus Pro and NHB. And I'll talk about that in a bit. So shout out to Redacted. Killed it. Main event of the show, Manny versus Diego Alvarez. We have a new Focus Pro World Champion. Definitely would go back and watch that show. And I mean, the show of the weekend, for me at least, was an HB 100. It was doesn't even come close to what GCW does with the Ultraviolet Championship. Like, not even close. The matches that I saw were crazy. You had Mance Warner on the show versus Bobby Beverly for the IWTV Independent Wrestling World Championship. That was opened the show, and that was an amazing match. Note to self to everybody: if you're using chains as ropes, don't. They hurt.
Yeah, I was going to say, for those of you guys, before Nick continues, that are unaware, NHB is a company that uses literal metal chains for ring ropes.
Yeah. And it was
nuts.
gnarly.
I bet.
It was gnarly. Yeah, there was that match that opened the show. Again, fucking Dr. Redacted was all over this weekend. He was taking on Dmitry Alexandrov. I think he goes by the Death Match Jesus. Redacted is fucking crazy. We need Redacted on the show again. We had my personal favorite, JB Anderson versus Casanova Valentine versus Low Life Louie versus Kaplan. That was it was a great match. The main event, and now these matches are not in order. The main event was Eric Ryan versus John Wayne Murdoch. Dude, when I tell you that these guys went out there, it's a sight to behold. These guys fucking killed it. And then you had James. This match here that I'm going to talk about next. This was a mystery fight, and we had no idea what was going on. So we had Jameson Shook coming out, and he was in a match, but nobody knew who. And then, sure enough, the promoter, I would call him, the guy who runs NHB, Danny D'Amano, comes out, and these guys were going absolute ham. You know, a show is violent when before the show even starts, the mat already has blood on it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. But the two matches on that show that, if you are a deathmatch wrestling fan, you have to go check these matches out. So you had Shellac versus Slade. Was violent. It was Slade. We all know Slade from GCW. He is, when you watch him in the ring, especially in a death match, he on a different level. And then Shellac, guys, I'm telling you, he is a madman. Like, the amount of brutality that these guys went through was absolutely crazy. Like, if you saw the match, you would get squeamish. And And then my match of the weekend that I was looking forward to, and she did not disappoint at all. I think she's quickly become my number 2 favorite wrestler in the biz. You had fucking Lucky 13 versus Angel Metro. If you haven't seen Angel Metro's work, go out of your way to watch it. The bumps that this woman took, curb stop on the table, on a chair, just getting berated by light tubes. At one point, she was hogtied against the ring post and literally got a curb stop to the face. And at one point in that match, somebody got thrown off a balcony.
Jeez.
Yeah. Angel Metro, she was taking bumps like you wouldn't believe, and she was my MVP of the weekend. Out of everything I saw, Angel stepped up in more ways than one, and really impressed. But other than that, if you had a chance to go watch NHB 100, I'd go watch it. If you have a chance to go watch Get Rich or Die Trying, I would go watch it because Joe Sawyer, he is making his Focus Pro Wrestling debut. We will be interviewing him, but he is going to be working for Focus Pro come September. So then we got a lot of questions to ask him about what happened at the end of the night tonight at Get Rich or Die Trying. But
Not just about that, Nick. We've got questions to ask him about what happened at the end of GCW yesterday.
Yep. All in all, the 2 independent shows. Shout out to Evan. Shout out to the boys at Focus Pro. New world champion. They got some, Joe Sawyer coming in. They got a lot of stuff going for them. And then again, shout out to the boys and girls, Danny D'Amato and the crew at NHB, because they put on a show. No deathmatch show, or even in GCW. I don't think we've seen a lot of cringy shit in GCW with their death matches. NHB just said, "Hold my beer," and they gave you a fucking show. So I highly suggest, if you have IWTV, check out NHB and check out Focus Pro from the weekend.
Yeah, while you're here shouting everything out, Nick, let's go ahead and shout out the 300 of y'all that are watching us right now across all the different platforms that we are currently streaming on. 3 different X accounts, 5 different YouTube accounts. Over 300 of y'all.
Power of SummerSlam.
This is Sparta.
And shout out to, before we continue though, shout out to Papagino. This is the first time we've been on the stream together too. So
yeah, it's very nice meeting you, man.
Great job. Great to have you on the show there, buddy. We need you. We need more of the no DQ guys to come on more often. We need an Aaron Rift appearance now.
I don't know.
As long as it's Aaron Rift and not He Who Shall Not Be Named.
I don't know who He Who Shall Not Be Named is. So
and we're not going to mention him because that's a name you definitely don't want to say and make appear.
Let's just say you take his name and you do what Daniel Bryan did with his name. You flip them around, add son to the end of one of them.
Yep.
And you got it. I call him Volderift because I can say that, but that's not the name of the thing.
Volderift.
Yes.
It's brilliant.
And even if you figure out the name, like Gino just set it up, just don't say it because we can't make him appear right now anyways.
Yeah, about to say.
Don't.
Yeah, no,
But yes,
it doesn't matter.
We definitely want to get Aaron Rift on here. We definitely want to get more of the no DQ fam on here. I'd also like to get a Virtue appearance on here.
Oh my gosh, you're playing with fire.
Oh, definitely playing with fire. But you know what? I think it would be fun to get him on here for a special episode. Maybe when we do one of our year-end shows, with the awards and whatnot, maybe we can get him on here to present an award or something.
I suppose that's food for thought here. I'm just updating the Galaxy scores now. Now they
But,
got the team scores.
Now that we're broadcasting on Aaron's personal channel as well, Papa Gino is part of that team as well. Gino, go ahead and tell everyone about your major push wrestling. Like, we're not necessarily wrapping up, but since we're taking this little moment, tell everybody about what you do.
Yeah, thank you so much. I have my own channel on YouTube, very modest. I actually just hit 1,000 subscribers last week or two.
Congratulations.
So thank you. I do my major push wrestling talk show. We got some of the guys coming on. I also do Rocket League live streaming, and then I do the Predictions League breakdown, PLB, with the Simple Man, Noah Foster. We try to get them Mondays right after the pay-per-view. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but we will be having one 6 p.m. tomorrow. Go check that out on either of our channels, and it'll be on Aaron's channel. But yeah, it's just Papa Gino 0017. Just type that into YouTube, and I'll show up, and would be happy to have your viewership and support as well. But I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to plug. That's not why I'm here, but I appreciate it.
No, of course. We always give people the opportunity to plug, usually at the end of the show. But, we were just taking that second there. Figured, give the opportunity. You don't know how long we're going to have you either. So,
Yeah, exactly. There's a reason I actually stayed on besides updating the scores, because I'll admit this is fun. And so far, conversation, it's been interesting. And again, this weekend in general has just been very interesting. And I do think SummerSlam, once again, as the Fed does, for me even, it surpassed expectations. It was a very good weekend.
So let me ask this general consensus for everyone. And I know, Nick, you can't really give your thoughts because you didn't watch. Would you say that SummerSlam, especially when you put both nights together, outperformed WrestleMania this year? Because I know a lot of people feel like night one of WrestleMania was complete trash. And while night two of SummerSlam may have been the better night, I don't feel like night one was horrible either. So based off of what I'm hearing in feedback, I think SummerSlam probably outdid WrestleMania. But then again, like I said, I didn't physically watch. So I only had the call in my ear as I was producing tonight and yesterday.
I would say from what I heard and what I've seen on social media, it seems like SummerSlam was better than WrestleMania. But I mean, I think to a degree, WrestleMania, that bar wasn't even high to begin with. So I think any show at this point would overtake it. With just how night one of WrestleMania, because I watched both nights of WrestleMania, just seeing how WrestleMania came off this year is something that just, and I'm not saying this because not to be a WWE hater, just came off just terrible in night one, and they tried to bounce back in night two, and they did an admirable job of doing it. I think the bar was just so low for that show that anything that would have happened tonight would have, besides the creative, let's say Chad Gable not winning or Cody Rhodes winning the title again. I'm saying barring like those creative decisions, I think any show from this after WrestleMania would have been better than WrestleMania. I don't think there was really a bar that was set.
Okay.
If I may also answer that same question, I did watch all 4 nights, start to finish, and WrestleMania, for better or for worse, since its inception, has always been a circus of how can we get as many famous people in the ring or showcased to get as many different eyes on the product. Your Pat McAfee's, your iShow Speeds, your Cyndi Laupers, your Mr. T's, your all of these things. And it feels like SummerSlam is less about that and more about the product. So from that point of view, and obviously how they treated the matches and how they designed the card and things like that, people are going to find reasons to complain. Oh, the match length this, or this match, these wrestlers weren't on the card, and all these things. People are going to find reasons to complain. Like, when I was pulling up this link, I saw a few things on Facebook, and people are like, complaining about this, that, and the other thing, and I'm just like, and that, what are we like? Really, we really complaining about that and this, like, but I do think as a wrestling fan, SummerSlam is more for us than at least this past year's WrestleMania was.
Okay. Noah?
The original extent of the question was whether or not SummerSlam outperformed for us as fans than WrestleMania. I was processing both night cards weekends in my head, looking at the execution, looking at what was given to the wrestlers and what came from the results, and did the results actually have matter and merit? If I look at that overall as enjoying a product versus the lame brain BS that turns me off, then yeah, I got to give it a SummerSlam in spades. Hell, it looked like they did more with the damn set than they did the proverbial Timu WrestleMania 17 Towers for what it's worth. Capacity crowd or not, or lack of capacity crowd or not, I look at SummerSlam both nights. More combined wrestling time, quality wrestling time. I thought the flow of the cards was done better. I thought overall there was more elements that drove not only stories, that's sometimes bumming when it underwhelms wrestling, but the wrestling itself was very strong and competitive. I got more moments from this weekend right now that I could truly take away as a fan that delighted me. I have to say that SummerSlam for me was much better than WrestleMania. When I look at the WWE PLEs, a lot of them for me are forgettable. Most of them feel like just an international house show. For me, this felt like a big turning point in WWE and a big deal for the calendar year. So yeah, I gotta give credit where credit's due. Honestly, for me, when I look at even the calendar year of WPLEs, this is the first one I actually truly care about and truly was appreciated for as a fan in the aftermath. This was probably WWE's best PLE so far this year.
No argument with that.
Ash?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. Like night one of SummerSlam was really solid, and then night two was just equally as good. I had high expectations for night one because all my favorite matches that I was looking forward to happened to be on that night, and they delivered. And the matches that I didn't really care for on night two, because I didn't really have any expectations going in, were very enjoyable. Like if SummerSlam was like, if both nights were crammed into one night and it was like 6 hours long, that 6 hours would have flown by smoothly. That's how good that SummerSlam was.
See, I don't know. I feel like people would have complained like they do about AEW shows about it being too long.
Well, that's the thing about wrestling fans. They're just going to bitch about something regardless.
Yeah, whether it's time, athlete, company, this or that or this, the color of the gear, there's always going to be someone to complain, blah, 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 blah. Use your brain cells for something better.
Let's not forget, part of the reason that WWE split things into 2 nights in the first place was because that WrestleMania that got so freaking late that it left people stranded on the train platforms.
Yeah, 35. Go, you poor souls.
So it's like that's part of why this happened in the first place, is like trying to present so many matches that belonged on the card in one night. It's just an overload. This is something we were talking about this a little bit in a space last night, and Gino, I don't know how familiar you are with spaces on X, but we were talking about this in a space last night, and could AEW benefit in doing 2 night shows? Because what's people's biggest complaint about an AEW pay-per-view? They're
The
too
length.
long. They try to shove 12, 14 matches into one night. And I brought it up. I was like, I think they have to trim some of these matches to begin with, because presenting a 12-match show just isn't realistic in the modern era. But then for the bigger shows, maybe like the 4 that originally started things for AEW, maybe make those 2 nights, because those are your bigger shows anyway. Those are your big 4, if you will. And especially something like an All In, which is their equivalent of WrestleMania, could possibly benefit from being a 2-night show.
So I want to preface this for anybody who's watching or listening to me for the first time.
Go for it.
I'm not the biggest like AEW consistent viewer. I admit that. I keep my ear to the ground with the pay-per-views and what's going on, so that when I go into the Predictions League breakdown for AEW events with our man Noah Foster, I can present an educated point of view for the product, so that I don't let him or the viewers down. Having said that, I've always been a fan of one-night events.
Thank you.
Just personally, I get why, and like back in the day, it was if you're on the card or one of the 2 nights when they're splitting it to 2 nights and things like that, like you're getting that WrestleMania payday. And that was in an era when wrestlers we knew were drastically underappreciated by their bosses, drastically underpaid by their bosses. They were live or die on merch. So an Andre the Giant Battle Royal would get 30, 20 people on the card and get them that payday and get them that exposure. But with AEW, yeah, I mean, 12 to 14 matches, that's a tall ask. But if at the same time, if I'm somebody who's buying a ticket to this event, I'm getting my money's worth. If I'm somebody who's buying this pay-per-view, whether it's for the discounted rate on Max or straight up on the pay-per-view channel or whatever, like you are always getting your money's worth with that. And I think that is kind of the thought process with AEW going into. We want to get as many people on the card as possible. And, thank goodness there is match time limits, because we know everybody in AEW knows how to wrestle, and they could all put on Iron Man, Iron Woman matches until the end of the time and all night long. Maybe they just need to start those cards earlier. But again, I think it just comes down to AEW and Tony Khan specifically wanting to make his fans happy and give them their money's worth. But if they did something 2 nights, then my fear is almost like with SummerSlam, like, well, if I can only afford to go to 1 night, because the ticket prices are either going to be the same for both nights or whatever. Like if you look at 1 14-night or 14-match card, how much is that versus going to 2 7-night cards? It's probably more expensive to go to 2 7-night cards with travel and all that stuff. And then what matches do you put on what card? And then you have people, well, I don't want to go to night 1, or I don't want to go to night 2. I only want to go to this one. And I think AEW benefits from getting as many people in their doors, packing whatever building they have booked to the gills, and again, giving people their money's worth. I went to Saturday night's main event, and I missed the entirety of the Chelsea Green Zelina Vega match because it did end early, but I was stuck in line trying to get a drink because it was a 2-hour show, and like I don't feel like I got my money's worth. Yes, I got to see John Cena, so it's worth the price of admission, of course. But like there's you have to balance those other things when it comes to it. It's at the end of the day, if you can always watch it, like I think you have 24 hours to watch it if you buy the pay-per-view. But those are the things that I think of with that. So I don't know what the right answer is, but I think those are the considerations that have to be at least thought about when deciding if you're going to split up a show into 2 nights.
I just don't know why Paul Levesque can't go back to the format that works so well in the black and gold NXT. Then again, he serves 7 different Hydras, and as soon as you cut one head, a new head pops up as you serve everybody and everything. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. When it came to a balance of format, when it comes to time, card, quality, dichotomy, dynamic, the takeovers in the Black Gold NXT, they were perfect. They were 6 to 7 matches within a 3-hour time limit, small commercial breaks, and the commercial breaks led into either match backstories, backstage segments to develop NXT talent, or bring you forward to the talent to come to NXT, and they just don't do that anymore. I haven't seen a format that fit like that since. And again, if you're driven by passion, if you're not looking at a clock, if you're not, tired, whatever age you are, man or woman, you're not going to think about time if you're investing in the product. If you're there live, though, you damn sure will. The problem is, ever since they started the 2-night show, WrestleMania 36, in front of nobody, and they stuck to that, and now they're expanding it to SummerSlam, and for all we know, Survivor Series is going to become that, and the Royal Rumble. They have to consider fans' expenses. They don't consider that, considering they probably got 2 different audiences each night, because WWE knows they can flip the script on their fan base. But I think SummerSlam, for all the greatness we're giving it, because again, exceed expectations, I don't look at numbers, I don't look at ticket sales, but the fact of the matter is, this is the first period I can remember we didn't get a number. Gee, I wonder why. I think we're starting to see the toll of the economy affecting the wrestling business domestically on these 2-night extravaganzas where every match may not be worth seeing. For what it's worth, this entire weekend, there's like 3 matches I could have done without. On average, that's almost how I feel about an AEW pay-per-view, but that's also one night. So again, it really comes down to a balance of quantity and quality and figuring about everybody else here in the economy. Because the average consumer is going to spend what they want to spend if they want to go to it, if they want to watch it. The other people, they're not going to do that. But as long as you can literally flex your fan base or commit to those that you know will in that case, and both companies do that in their own right, I don't see that changing. I do love the idea that freaking Revolution, Double or Nothing, Full Gear, and All Out could be the bigger extravaganzas. But at the end of the day, in this modern day and age of non-traditional professional wrestling, it comes down to almost having one damn show a month. For WWE, though, they rely on having shows knowing they cross the world, but their 2 biggest shows on 2 nights of the month.
That's a good point. Maybe if they shortened their non-Big 4 to lessen the amount of matches on those cards, and then had these big long cards for those and kept it one night, I think that might be like a happy medium. But it's difficult because at the same time, this is in the middle of Minneapolis, Minnesota in the summer. It's not a destination. It's not, and you're in the United States, which I'm going to sound like I'm crapping on US fans here, but we get WWE all year round. When you go to somewhere like Saudi Arabia or London or Italy or France, those shows will always sell out no matter what's on the card, because those people are just happy to have a live wrestling that they have to watch at sometimes 3 a.m, depending on where they live. Now they get to see it in prime time with these larger than life superstars, even though maybe the term, there's not a lot of superstars in wrestling anymore, but like they get to go and have a good time. And I think it's a tough ask, 2-night events without a legitimate reason. Like Noah said, you could take 3 matches off the card, and I could say maybe I would have even taken that number 1 contenders match off the card if KO hadn't come back. Yeah. Like that was really the whole reason it was for. You could take the Danhausen match off the card, still have him appear and still be selling merch, have him like come out and do his thing, do the Cannonhausen, whatever. Like those things can happen. You can still achieve your goal without putting stuff that doesn't necessarily need to be on your card to bolster and strengthen the other stuff to make your card seem better by comparison.
Exactly. I'm just waiting for the first 2-night Survivor Series.
Let me just tell you this. I don't want to. This is gonna come across as maybe insensitive, but I just call it like I see it. I don't think WWE believes that Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble, or Survivor Series, with their namesake matches being 1 men's match, 1 women's match, they would obviously have to split one or the other. It would have to be they wouldn't be on the same night. So I don't think WWE believes that frankly speaking, that the Royal Rumble, the Women's Royal Rumble, the Women's Money in the Bank, or the Women's Survivor Series War Games match is strong enough to sell tickets to that night. So I don't think they're going to split them for that reason. What I would rather a 2-night Royal Rumble so you can have those wins breathe over a SummerSlam. I would rather a Money in the Bank so you can have those 2 matches end the show and breathe. Have time to digest that, but I just don't think WWE believes in that. I know Evolution, but that's a targeted audience for that show, and I know that does well, but I just don't think WWE believes that they'll have as much success. So having them as one night, they get you all in there, and there's no reason for somebody to say, well, I'll go to the men's night, but not the women's night. I don't want to sound like I'm saying that that's how I would choose it, but I don't believe WWE believes in their talent like that.
Well, I honestly don't think that Money in the Bank should be a 2-night thing anyways. I think Money in the Bank needs to be completely gotten rid of and put the ladder matches back on WrestleMania.
Thank you.
Hold on real quick. Because Noah, we had discussed this on the Money in the Bank last time. We had the Predictions League breakdown. The only reason why I would disagree with that, because I used to share that thought process with you, JJ. And I don't want to sound like the contrarian on here, but just my thought process is, if you do that, then and you haven't cashed in by next year's WrestleMania, everybody knows the cash-in's coming on WrestleMania. If you start that time clock on a different month, you have the opportunity to keep a WrestleMania cash-in a surprise. That's just kind of how I see it.
Okay, then put the Money in the Bank matches in SummerSlam.
I'm fine with that. Fine with that.
I actually
100%.
like that idea a lot, honestly. And Gino, you bring up a very valid point, because we have seen already the Money in the Bank cashed in at WrestleMania, but it's one of those things that right now you really don't know, because when Money in the Bank first happens. But I think Money in the Bank, with the fact that SummerSlam is 2 nights, put one on one, put one on the other, that sounds perfect to me. Because I don't think Money in the Bank needs to be a PLE, honest to God. I can't remember the last time Money in the Bank PLE mattered outside Money in the Bank, besides maybe AJ Styles and Seth Rollins and run with the fact that Dean Ambrose was the one that left for the damn title. The other Money in the Bank PLE is absolutely forgettable for me outside the ladder matches.
And we basically had a Money in the Bank match tonight anyway, so...
You're not wrong. And the filling out process, I feel like a big success considering who won. Anyway.
If she didn't win, she was my number 1 prediction to win Money in the Bank. So I don't think she's going to also get Money in the Bank. So I think that...
She was not my prediction to get Money in the Bank this year. So my number 1 prediction is still out there in the field. Obviously, we've got plenty of time for people to qualify, but I think it's going to be Roxanne Perez.
I'm hoping it's that, because honestly, that makes the most sense. And I do wonder, are they going to do qualifying matches or announce everybody? Because I'm curious how they approach that.
They're going to do qualifying matches.
Is Liv Morgan going to insert herself in it?
Especially since Liv retained. I think Roxanne's going to get it. Maybe do the whole Nia Jax thing, Tiffany Stratton thing, where she teases like she's going to cash in on Chelsea or on Rhea when she comes back.
Right.
And then, boom, cash in and take the belt from Liv.
The fact of the matter, though, that's ironic here, is Roxanne and Liv is a story waiting to happen in itself. Money in the Bank is just a great catapult. But on the other side of the brand, I look at Jessie Jane, by the way, being the Fatal Influence and maybe winning it herself since she wasn't even involved. Interim ladder match. Leader of Fatal Influence. The other 2 have gold. Why not Jessie Jane go after the gold, considering they don't even have a face of SmackDown right now? And right now, Fatal Influence is the best case you have to reset the SmackDown Women's Division. So right now, I'll just put it out there. Jessie J and Roxanne Perez are my top 2 picks. And you know we each are going to get 2 picks.
The new face of SmackDown is Chelsea fucking Green.
Well, we know that, but you know what I mean as far as the permanent. They're about to say. Yes, freaking yes, Chelsea Green. Fuck, you stop that. Damn it. I'm trying to be looking at the other women here, and I'm just thinking, because I can't imagine Rhea being gone, months on end. Like, what is the state of this injury? Why have we not heard anything disclosed? I get HIPAA as a thing. I work for a freaking billion-dollar nonprofit health organization, all right? And the bottom line, though, we need some sort of definitive face of SmackDown. Otherwise, remove interim and put Chelsea Green in her rightful spotlight, because this is ridiculous. Anyway.
So.
Yeah.
I do like to think of my Money in the Bank, and this is way too early, obviously, so I won't dwell on it, but I do like to think of my Money in the Bank winners as somebody that I think it would be wicked exciting to see their teases of their cash-ins. Right? Like, if you think of something, LA Knight for sure, but Chelsea Green, imagine her potentially trying to come out all the time, getting foiled, how funny it would be when she gets foiled before she cashes in, or even somebody like a Jacob Fatu. Imagine him just having the Money in the Bank briefcase, just side-eyeing Roman from behind him, and he's always in the shot right over his shoulder, just kind of like, when is he going to snap and do it? We're going to think he's going to go for the other title, but see, that's that stuff that gets me excited as a wrestling fan, that ooh, okay, this is interesting. Roxanne obviously would almost obviously lead to cashing in on Liv, but they could do that same thing, have her standing behind Liv, just kind of looking at her looking at the briefcase, looking at her, looking at the briefcase, I can fucking beat you. So that's kind of my thought process when it comes to who holds the Money in the Bank briefcase. I hate this. I'm going to beat Drew McIntyre. I'm going to win it, and then I'm going to cash in that night type of stuff and then lose it. The woman still hasn't lost cash in, by the way. So
correct.
Somebody's going to get Damian Sandow. May he, may his career rest in peace. I was there when he lost that one to my dog Cena, but it is what it is.
I mean, he called it right in front of his face, to be fair. So he set up his own failure. But you're not wrong. But wow, what a callback!
Right.
To your point, as far as teases and comedic, that's all the more reason to give it to R-Truth. Give the briefcase to R-Truth. Can you imagine the comedy with that?
He would go out during a women's title match and try and cash it in or something. That would be great. He did the women's rumble.
Climb the ladder. He wouldn't even know he was in Money in the Bank. He would just throw people over the top of him and think he's the winner.
And then just be like, I won. Yeah, he did the opposite at the Royal Rumble. He climbed the ladder.
So funny.
So good.
Or that one Royal Rumble where he and Dominic. I love how Dominic played along with it, thinking the Royal Rumble was a tag match.
It's so good. Or if he just tries to pin people, he goes for the pin, nobody's counting. Oh, he goes over to the other guy, tries to pin him, nobody's counting, and he just takes the hand or something and tries to you can do a lot of fun with that. So I thank you for putting that in my zeitgeist.
Are we sure that R-Truth is mentally stable?
Yes.
Yeah. You have to have a high level of intellect to do comedy well, and I
100.
Yeah.
100.
Right.
Think about it. I mean, because you're constantly having to come up with a new bit. You can't rest on your laurels and play the same gimmick all the time. Yes, you can maybe do it in different cities on one tour. But when you come back through that city the next time, you've got to have some new material.
Fair enough. I understand the trope. Okay, fair enough. But no. LA Knight right now.
It's like a musician. How many times can you tour a city playing the same album?
Ask Mariah Carey that. She's still.
I was about to say, musicians maybe is not the best comparison.
But Mariah Carey's got 36 years of songs to play. She doesn't tour playing one album. You play the greatest hits mixed in with some of the new songs.
Sure.
But you also don't always play the hits in the same order.
No, you definitely don't.
Yeah, okay, I guess that's fair. All right, I'll give you that.
It would be okay, let's take it back, just to use an album everybody knows, Metallica's Black Album. You're not going to tour every city for 6 years just playing the songs off of the Black Album. Not when you've got Master of Puppets, not when you've got For Whom the Bell Tolls, not when you've got Seek and Destroy, and all these other songs that you could be playing
Fair enough. I understand the comparison. If you want to hear more, name that tune. Go watch the last Simple session with me and Ash when I had her name that tune to video game. Stay tuned for the next Simple session, folks. It's getting time to be determined. Anyway, but yeah, I get it. But no, at the end of the day, LA Knight, and that's not an insult. That's just a fact of life. Yeah.
He didn't give us the pause and the cadence to do it together.
What everybody's saying.
There we go.
L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Good job, everybody. All aboard the gravy train. But that being said,
Speaking of, what about Sami Zayn winning it? You know,
the last real good guy. The guy that's been conspiracy theory against the WWE. I mean, not the first time he's been involved in this match.
And like I told Noah, he's got a conspiracy now against Nick Aldis.
He really does.
He went into a match thinking it was going to be him and Finn Balor, just like he went in thinking he was going to fight Cody Rhodes.
Nope.
And got CM Punk.
Yep.
He went into this thinking it was going to be him and Finn Balor. Then he had two other people, one of them being his best friend.
And ironically enough, JJ, that was the outcome. Kevin Owens pinned Sami Zayn to become #1 contender.
So he's got a huge conspiracy against Nick Aldis. It's like, dude, this guy put in his letter of resignation, wanted to be a wrestler, had the letter of resignation torn up, reinstated, and then he screws Sami Zayn?
Pretty much.
I'm just saying.
No, I mean, it makes sense.
They got to sell more Justice for Sammy shirts, even though I don't know anybody that would in their right mind would buy that, but they got to continue that he's getting screwed over thing, which is why I think it was great booking.
Yeah.
Agree.
I missed the last real good guy shirt is something that, like, I've said this about wrestling merch. It's something that you should be able to wear that shows your fandom, but also can, like, exist as a real shirt. You know, as much as I love John Cena, it's his friggin' face plastered on the center of it. Again, no problem with John Cena, but, like, I'm not frequently wearing that outside of these videos and stuff unless I need the color. Like, if my buddy's on, he's doing rugby and his team is orange, that's the only friggin' creamsicle colored shirt I have. Okay, fine. But, like, the last real good guy, like, that's a shirt you can wear. Unchosen by LA Knight, that's a shirt that, like, only the wrestling fans will know, and then you can feel confident wearing out. But that's just kind of how I see, like, the merch. I know that was my sidebar.
No, it makes sense.
That's fair.
Yeah. And the last time I wore a wrestling shirt was Ron Simmons' Damn. And again, people could all recognize that word because everyone says it. And I kid you not, I was just walking down my neighborhood and every person at the sidewalk just said, damn. So I was like, okay, they know what it means. And if they don't, they know what the word means.
I'm surprised they still don't sell those shirts because I feel like those would still sell.
Yeah, I mean, come on. It was always one of those shows that I was like, you want to talk about comedy? You got a stupid segment, or you got like a freaking burn, like, congratulations, Booger, you officially lost your status as a black man. And then freaking Farouk came out subtly, grabbed the mic and said, damn. Arrive, damn, leave. Oh, it was one of my favorite gimmicks of all time.
Yeah, he just be caught backstage. Like something cringe happens like that. We need Farouk back just doing that to stuff that people think is cringe because then it's just like
agree.
It like pokes fun at it. It's like tongue in cheek. But
and my favorite YouTube videos just watching damn compilations. I'd be like, say it, and then he finally says it. I'm just like, there it is.
So good. I just wanted to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for inviting me on to do this. I know that not everybody gets the invite, and I am super gracious for having that. I am very tired, and I think I'm going to wind this down, but I just wanted to appreciate you guys, JJ, Noah, Ash, it was nice to meet you. Nick, it was fun talking with him as well and listening to his stuff that I don't watch, but still hearing his opinion. He's very articulate with that. You guys all are, and it just means the world to me. So thank you so much for allowing me to be here.
Absolutely, Gino. Thank you for joining us. Again, make sure you guys follow and subscribe to Gino. Papa Gino 0017 on YouTube. When are the shows again? Major Push, I know, is usually on Wednesdays. What time?
Wednesday at 7. So with this title card you have up, everybody that wants to know, you can see it right there. So we got Wednesday 7 p.m. The Rocket League, just whenever I find the time. And the predictions league breakdown, we try to get it Monday at 6 after AEW and WWE premium live event pay-per-views. Sometimes that gets moved to Wednesday at 6 as well. But
And that's Eastern time.
yes, EST, yeah.
I always like to clarify that for our viewers because right here we have Eastern, we have Ash's Central, and I'm Pacific. So just on the screen, we've got 3 different time zones. So
it's a big screen.
Right.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. Again, I appreciate it, everybody. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Good night. Have a good night, Nick. And then there were 3. And the king. We went into a little bit of an extended version tonight because of the weekend festivities and having Papagino being part of the conversation. So I hope everybody enjoyed. But at this point, JJ, bottom line, red is subjective. Find the happy medium. No company's going to give you it. But this weekend was a hell of a good time overall, and that's all that matters.
yeah, 100%. And I'm right there with Papagino. I think it's time to just kind of start to power down here. I am going to run our trailer one more time real quick because we've only ran it once. Then we'll come back, we'll do our plugs, and we'll get out of here.
All right.
And now for a taste of things to come.
Oh, good Lord Almighty. And as always, here at the Simple Album Studios, that trailer shows you here we truly encompass, embrace, celebrate, pontificate, analyze, criticize, and react to the wrestling.
And once again, Papagino, you're very welcome for the invite. You know, much like Noah and I, you're more than welcome to join us anytime, good sir.
Absolutely.
We always welcome different people, different opinions. Marshall has been supposed to join us for a minute, but we just keep missing the setups. You know, he was supposed to join us a week or so ago, but something came up last minute. He was going to try to join us for Shenanigans this week, but I told him it was going to be Sunday. He said he wasn't going to be available. Then all of a sudden he was, and you know, we were kind of starting to wind things down anyway. So,
yep.
But we're open for people and their opinions and all that type of stuff. So,
yep.
But that being said, we've been on the air for almost 3 hours. We've gone almost an hour past Noah's cutoff time, even with him having taken 10 minutes off because the dumb fuckery and the Joe Hendry gimmick.
Yeah, but hey, Papagino had to be here. It's a Sunday night shenanigan. We had engaging discussions. I figured I'd give you all the benefit of the doubt, even with 10 less minutes, and I'm glad I stood around.
Yeah, I was going to say, and we did it earlier. Like, we started 2 hours before normal.
True.
You know, so it's barely hitting midnight. So, like...
It literally just hit midnight here on these coasts.
Yeah, we would only begin through the first hour on a normal shenanigan night, so...
Right.
Keep that in perspective. So, Ash, let's go ahead and get your plug going.
Yeah, you can find me on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, at ShadowBadash. And if you'd like to, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Batty for Wrestling. Don't be a dickhead.
Dickhead.
That's right. Simple Man.
Oh, good Lord Almighty, y'all are crazy, but God bless this business. Find me if you choose on the X or on YouTube at nfoster1916, for I am nothing more but a simple man and a lifelong fan of professional wrestling. Damn it! As Papa Gino discussed earlier, again, we have Particularly Breakdown. That'll be 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live, exclusively across the Papa Gino Network, Papa Gino 117, and the Superman's brand and Fox 916. We give you the live leaderboard updates for the team and the galaxy of No DQ for the WWE PL League and our closing remarks for SummerSlam and the statistical analysis we have to back up our predictions. That was interesting. And also, as you saw in that trailer, Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Standard Time, I will be on the call for Grand Slam Mickey Cole in AEW. Coming up here very soon, Ash and I will have another simple session, and it will be Batty Game Time with me and the participant scene and her hosting. Stay tuned to see if I fall underneath the embarrassment at the expense of my dignity or I rise to the occasion, as she has the deck ready. Again, we'll talk about behind closed quarters when we're actually doing it. And as you know, sleep predicting is, of course, the flagship of my brand. If I'm being perfectly honest, it's my favorite thing to do. So stay tuned with sleep predicting for, of course, TNA Lethal Lockdown, AEW, All In, and, of course, WWE, I believe next time will be Money in the Bank, and NXT will be Heatwave. There might be a special one for Ring of Honor before this on. I haven't decided yet, especially that Hazuki's challenging Athena for the title. Let's freaking go. And me and Ash will be bringing you some point or another Batty Backup Breakdown update ahead of the finals and the semifinals for G1 Climax 36. Please stay tuned. But as always, I'd like to remind and encourage all of you, there are no winners, there are no losers, there are no betters. Just fans with opinions with this passion we all share. Love you, Rebel Heart. So at the end of the day, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too, treasure your families and just your life, and enjoy professional wrestling. It is truly as simple as that.
Now, Ash, how far behind are you with the G1 Climax?
Let's just say there's 11 nights I gotta catch up on.
There's a reason why I am the guy that keeps up with everything, and I will be able to carry the conversation either way. Stay tuned, folks. I assure you, you will get more of the Superman and the Bat. I guess she has a freaking jingle or name for us now.
Yeah.
Soon again for G1 Climax update. That I can promise.
Also, sorry for the super loud noise in the background. I have a cat now.
Oh, okay.
Aw, kitty.
A little fella. Look at that.
Kitty.
And apparently loves to climb.
She does.
Well, hopefully it doesn't knock anything off your shelf. Again, cats could be as much as a freaking chaos agent as they are a friend.
What's Kitty's name? Saber?
It's Pumpkin.
Oh.
Considering it's orange.
We got her from. So, we had like neighbors, and they moved out, and they weren't able to keep the cat, so that's why we got her.
Oh, nice. Well, look at you giving it a home. Well, I wish Pumpkin and you all the best. May it be a wonderful relationship.
She's my mom's cat.
Oh, well, that's nice. Good to know the mom has a friend. Much like my mom.
Right?
Much like my mom and the dog Margot that you all saw one time here. Those two are inseparable. But, hey, everyone's got a companion at the end of the day that helps bring a spotlight of happiness to their lives. Good for them.
Yes. As for me, you can find me and all my Chase U brethren and sisters
Bloody hell.
on Instagram at the Renegade JJ Williams, YouTube Casa D18 Studios, X Casa D18 Studio, no S at the end. Of course, make sure that you're following the Simply Reliable Studios on the X at SR Studios 2024. Shout out to the over 300 of y'all that are still watching us. Pretty much somebody on every single channel right now. It's a huge feat for us. We appreciate all of your viewership. I think that is it. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, as we talk to Joseph Sawyer, the former Joe Gacy. He made his debut in Focus Pro and GCW this weekend.
Oofa.
Got a lot to unpack with him, including what went right and what went wrong with the schism. That's something I'm really looking forward to getting into because that was my NXT,
Damn it.
not his NXT.
But Kendo Gray and Lola Vice in the underground is, and I hope Kendo knocks her the F out and sends Lola Vice packing and shaking her ass in AAA. Adios.
The last thing we'll go ahead and promote, even though it's about a week out, this coming Saturday, we will be sponsoring Kaya McKenna's first title defense as the Pro Wrestling Symphony Women's Champion against Sigrid, the running buddy of Freya the Slayer, who of course had to vacate the title during the injury, which is how Kaya ended up becoming champion. Kaya defeated Sigrid and Anya Rune, the former Erica Dimia, to become the champion. So she will be making her first defense against Sigrid this Saturday, and we are the sponsors of the match.
Kick her ass, Kaya. Have a great match. Good luck to both.
And until then, we have been the folks of the Simply Reliable Studios. For Ash, for Nick, for Papa Gino, for Walter, for Noah, I am the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams. Thank
Yes,
y'all.
Chelsea Green. Yes, fucking hell, Chelsea. It's so damn happy. Yes.
Thank y'all for so much for joining us, and we'll see you guys next time.